King of the devil.
Wait, D6 or D20. D6.
Who is the devil?
D8.
I'm looking at him.
4.
Chase.
D10.
Yes.
I'm neutral, Jeffrey.
It's true.
We have
chaotic
neutrals.
neutrals.
Wait, what alignment did you guys have?
I don't know why you would be
12.
chaotic though, because
This is
you're
12,
happy-go-lucky.
Yes. And you should not use this to move it.
Oh.
Pretty neutral.
Okay.
Like,
And
like
times 10?
experiencing the
Sorry?
world.
Like
But
100.
I'm not
It'd be
afraid
this
to,
times
like,
10.
make it up.
Oh yeah, so if you launch those two,
When I go
then
to a
one
raid.
is for the...
Which is pretty
digit,
much every
and one
day.
for the...
Okay. You can explain that to me when it comes to it.
24/7.
Yeah, you can see. Here I'm launching
I launch.
37.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every
Miguel
time.
doesn't roll dice. He launches dice.
Every
time.
Judo
My
chop.
favorite part about playing with
Yeah.
Okay, are we starting?
Yes, we
I'm
are.
so excited.
Alright.
So before
You
we get super deep in the game, there's a few things that we'll have you all do, which is to start out by introducing your characters, and even if you haven't thought of all this stuff yet, you can make it up on the fly. Just introduce your character. Tell us what they want. Like, what do they kind of want out of life? What are they going for? And then we'll go through, and then tell us what gets them in trouble sometimes. What are some of the things that get them in trouble?
Okay.
So what's your character's name? What is he? Race, class, all that fun stuff.
Okay, so my character name is
I can actually see it.
Suga Chabu something.
so,
Cheers to that.
so it's a character that can't pronounce his own name.
I was training 5 minutes ago. Sabu. Sabu.
Not helping yourself.
Sabu Bumkuba. I'm Zuga Sabu Bumkuba.
That's Zuga Zampum. Okay, so what kind of class are you?
So,
Yeah.
I'm a barbaric, half orc.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a noble house. I wanted to leave because I'm in love with gnome from another house, which is
Yeah.
in conflict with my house.
Yeah.
And
They
it's
don't
not
get
great.
along. Yeah.
Yeah. So I left and went to a casino.
Went to a casino.
Because I'm good at dice.
We
and
are
then
a reputable banking establishment.
I'm good at dice, and I
launching them.
I was used to the place, drinking dice for levels.
Carousing a bit. If
I
you
was
Okay.
cheating a little bit, and I got to know the accountants. I don't know his name yet.
Twitch McTwitcherson.
He doesn't know
Okay.
it yet.
He
It's
doesn't-
part of the story. It's
It's
part of the
about-
narrative.
Okay.
Okay. So then, how do you know the accountant?
Oh, I was cheating at dice.
Oh, so you were cheating.
And
Ah.
then he saw
And
me.
did he catch? Okay.
And then we became friends. Kind of. I became his bodyguard.
I was impressed with the skill of his sleight of hand for someone quite so large.
And so I became his bodyguard. Trying to, show my house, my
Yeah.
family I can make it.
I
By
you make a
myself
good living.
and don't have to buy their standard.
Ah, okay. Okay, so you can see you're a gnome lady. Okay. So you want to meet this girl. So,
Yeah.
and then, so you think by working with this guy, making enough money, you're
I
gonna
think
be
by
good.
extracting myself from my family, I can do that. They're in conflict. And so I got in trouble often because I like to trash things.
Trash things.
Trash.
Oh, crushed, yeah. Mhm.
So usually small dogs or small animals. Sometimes people, because I'm a bodyguard.
Yeah.
He sees danger around every corner.
Yeah. I like.
Yeah. You gotta protect the accountant. You gotta protect the money. Yeah.
I pay well for this.
Okay, cool. So what gets you in trouble? You get in trouble because you have to crush things?
Yes.
All right. Cool.
Okay,
Alicia.
so I say my name, my stuff, and my
Yeah,
stuff.
Yep.
name, what your character wants, class, and then what gets you in trouble.
Alright. So, my character's name is Quinoa Hillerheim.
Love it.
They are a halfling wizard. The they, them pronouns are very important. What they want is they're kind of a nerd, and they want to be the toughest person on the block. They're very small, and they're not very strong.
They're a jock.
They're a jock. But so they really want to be like taken they want to someday walk up to someone and for that person to be like, oh, I'm scared. I'm scared of this person.
I'm surprised how far you stepped away from reality.
I know. I was like, wait a minute. This is just your imagination. Tell us how you really feel.
I love
I
it.
just want them to be scared.
Yeah. What gets them in trouble is
Nothing.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I always get in trouble. What's that
they
for
put
me
their
when-
foot in their mouth a lot.
Okay.
What?
What in the mouth?
They'll talk too much.
Oh,
They'll say some things
Yeah.
that can be misinterpreted
Okay.
Okay.
because they're trying too hard.
So how do you know Feather Widget Perkinips? Over there.
Hello.
How did you guys meet?
I'm gonna need to know some more about your whole personality before I come up with a backstory.
Okay. The barbarian, not work.
Okay, well that's clear then.
Uh-huh.
I met her and I was like, this is the person who can guide me to like becoming like
So your personal trainer.
Yeah.
my personal trainer. Yes. Yeah.
She had no idea she was training Lisa.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. I just need the muscles.
That's true. It's all that matters.
So you quickly realize that Feather Widget wants nothing more than to admire the flowers and the sunshine until she goes into a rage. Then she's like kicks ass, but mostly she
That's
hates
what my
violence.
foot putting into mouth is good for. I just make me mad all the time.
You judge me by my
There
appearance.
we
You're
go.
like, oh, she looks tough.
What a complex backstory we have.
That's awesome. Okay. April.
I am Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick.
Why?
Rick!
It's confused.
Pickle weekdays.
I love it.
I am a
Wait.
dragonborn.
Is it your name, surname, or just your?
I don't know. I have one name. I don't have two.
She's
names.
like
Okay.
Prince, like
Okay.
It's like Madonna.
yeah.
Or
People know
Okay.
me. People know me. I'm Pickle Rick.
Very
I'm
good.
Pickle Rick. Pickle Rick the Dragonborn.
It's true.
How do you not know Pickle Rick the Dragonborn?
So
Very,
you're
very well known.
I'm a
Yeah.
ranger. What else am I supposed to say about myself?
What's like your
You want?
goal in life? Like, what do you want, and what gets you in trouble?
Goal in life.
I
So
hear your
I'm
background.
also like a sagey kind of person. So like, I'm also a nerd.
We both stepped so far from
What?
What a surprise.
The kids did a really good job.
My goal in
Everyone.
life is to read all of the books.
No, he didn't step very far away.
Yeah.
Cool.
Miko likes to
To
break
read
things.
all of the books.
I like to read. I want all of them. All of them.
Literally, if I see a book,
Literally-
I'm gonna read that page.
Watch out. So how this gets me into trouble is that I'm constantly.
So you're a klepto. Great.
Okay.
Very kleptomaniac.
And
Good.
you had one of the worst experiences of your life with that gentleman right there. What was it like?
Who is he again?
Yeah,
So,
Oh, yeah, go ahead and explain. Yeah.
all right. So we can describe that experience afterwards. I'm Twitch to Switch. I am a rogue. I am a Swerfniblin, but nobody can pronounce that, so I let everyone call me a deep gnome.
Yeah.
I don't like it very much, but I can't do much about it. I am known in the city as the accountant. Basically, I run books all over the city for various nobles to get their hands involved in gambling that the city might not find itself very much in favor of, but all of the nobility seems to be very in favor of. I'm very, very good with numbers. When I was young, I saw what the noble families were able to do with all their wealth and decided that my life goal was to become more wealthy than all of them.
Mhm.
And what gets me in trouble a lot of the time is I'm really not a fan of odd numbers. I like everything to be even numbered, and I will go to extreme lengths to make things as even.
So the worst experience of my life was, seeing counting numbers that were stored in books. I stole some, and how he ended.
She stole one.
Yeah.
Which was an
I
odd
stole
number.
one, and that did not sit too well with him, and he hired some thugs to come and beat.
You mean a
bodyguard?
And then he kicked your ass. Okay. Okay, so we already kind of got
Season
most.
one.
Alright, then I'm gonna do my backstory.
Oh yeah, so we got most of Twitch switch. God, it's gonna be
Switch.
that is a fantastic
I'll just-
Wait, what's
tongue
the first
twister
name?
for me.
Last name?
Switch.
Okay.
I could also
Twitchly
switch the
Switchler. Switchly Twitch. Yeah. Okay. So you had a blissful moment with quinoa.
Yeah, I did.
What was that?
Oh!
No,
That
I saw your collection of perfectly symmetrical things. It was glorious.
I
Okay,
do
so
love things.
yeah, both love
I don't know-
symmetry.
I don't know what you collect. What's
It's
quinoa
a really
collect?
weird group. It's hard to get anything done.
Oh, we're gonna die. It's not gonna be great.
Yeah.
I was so diverse though.
I was saying like these campaigns are more merciless
Okay.
than the homegrown.
So-
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I had a blissful moment in what capacity? So just in
So just like you had like this like really great experience, like a good solid memory with
so
with quinoa.
what happened one time was that quinoa had. What did you say your back? What was your actual background?
Halfling wizard. What do you mean my background?
yeah.
My life story?
Were you like a?
Wants to be tough.
Oh, I have a dark past. I don't know what it is yet, but
Oh yeah, you do have.
I have some repressed memories. I guess.
Yeah.
It's not for personal, it's something, no?
It's like something like that. Like
Okay,
I have
it's like
things like
some-
bad
So,
that's happened to
Can
me.
it be not with her, but about her?
Yeah.
All right. So when quinoa first came to town, I noticed there was something interesting about her,
Mhm.
and
Them.
Them.
That's right. I noticed there was no, and that's what it was. I knew that it wasn't a her/him. I knew it was a them. And so
There's
I
an
started-
even number of
I
people.
started-
in one person.
And I started to investigate, and I found out that this was the only single person that was also two people in a them, and it made me understand that there is possibility to have an odd number of people in a group, but still have an even number of people in a group. And I learned that there is hope for humanity.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, quinoa is like.
And I also took a whole bunch of bets on how crazy she was from all the nobles and won an even number of.
I'm just two toddlers stacked on top of each other in a trench coat.
It's good. It's really them.
Yeah.
You're two halflings.
One whole lady.
One holding. One maximum ling. All right. Feather widget.
Other widget for barbarian. Small village. Deep woods. She's always been a very, very kind-hearted spirit, but she's been very strong. From an early age, she sees puppies and accidentally kills them, and it really led to a sense of very hard on herself. She hates that violent part of her, but it is part of her. When she was out chasing a butterfly one day, outside of this other small village, ran into this huge monster. I don't even know, it was like a star or something like that. And she noticed that it was puppies. She kicked its butt. She went into a rage, and she fully embraced her rage. She became a folk hero for the small town. They totally worshiping her, and so now she has this different relationship with her rage. She still doesn't like it. Feels like she has this destiny, and she wants revenge on that. She doesn't like. I just picked that out. I haven't really gone through that yet.
I mean,
Like they do.
we haven't even started the campaign yet. We've already hit Centaur's kicking.
We've hit rock bottom.
It's
Pull that out.
only up to go from here, guys.
Really? I mean, that's why we do this whole segment. Okay, and then what gets you in trouble?
Oh, what gets me?
Don't like when centaurs kick the field.
Yeah, I tend to get really irrationally. I don't like being violent, but because I've been hurt and I don't hurt, I tend to go into rages quite easily when I should not.
A hair trigger.
Okay.
Yeah,
If you will.
yeah. Then I feel really bad and really.
Rationally angry when someone's being mistreated.
Yeah, I wrote them down on my stuff.
Someone is mistreated.
Or bullied or anything.
So you met the unpronounceable one.
Zaga. I'm Zaga.
Zaga?
I think
Zaga?
it's... Wait.
Is that Z-A-G-A?
It's... Oh,
X-A-G-A.
Zuga, sorry. Zuga.
You met Zuga.
X-U-G-A-A.
Okay.
X-U-G-A-A.
Zuga.
Zuga.
It can
So-
be a starter name.
So you met Zuga on the street, and it was one of the
Where?
first times you ever saw another barbarian of such strength and such power to crush.
Uh-huh.
What were your impressions of each other?
My impression of him.
Oh, yes.
Well, I think his impression of me was one of awe because he found me. Because I am a folk hero in the barbarian half-orc
Community.
in certain circles.
I'm a folk hero, I guarantee it.
Very few people.
Yeah, I'm nuggets.
I'm gonna put that on your thing.
So like 3 religions that are like the half-orc. and
Folk
barbarian.
hero of 10.
Folk hero, parentheses, delusions of grandeur.
So,
Well,
what's
it's
his name?
not
I'm trying to write everyone's
Feather widget.
Of course.
Last
Mhm.
name Herkiness.
Can I have a beaker?
Oh yes, I can show you
Were
guys
you
out some
Twitch
here.
McSwitch or Switch McTwitch?
I am Twitchly Switch.
Twitch Lee. Oh, there's no Mick? Yikes.
No, you just,
I need to get a real legal pad at some point.
So
It's
my
30
impression
minutes.
is-
Yes.
My impression of Zuka
Yeah.
was that he was far too eager to embrace his violence. I try to hold my back. I fail at it often.
So you judged
I saw
him
that-
for not
Yeah, I
embracing.
judged him for being, I bodyguard, and I
He's personal defense assistant.
assistant.
Doesn't like bodyguard.
But like I go to Raven's probably more often than him, but I'm like, and I feel guilty.
Okay, awesome. So, you all, through various and different routes, have reached the town of Redlark, which sits in a larger valley called the Desserin Valley. So pretty much the town of Redlark, it's a small little farm community. As you walk in the streets, there's one big main street that you all came in on called the Karen Road. It's just so easy.
It's great. You're not having to make it up on the fly, right?
Gosh, it's fantastic. Though I probably will make up more because it's easier that way.
I want to spare to get
How do
You
we
can show the book
Oh.
after that. And...
So this is kind of the basic. I'm gonna not let you read the details, but this is what kind of the town looks like from overhead. Kind of a few different.
Which one's Karen Street?
Karen is the one on the east. One on the east. So it's just very small, quaint village. Not much more than a couple of streets. As you walk in, a lot of like red tiled roofs, a lot of kind of green grass between the houses. As you walk in, you see people starting to string up. Oh, it just like resets itself. She's like, whoa. Roll initiative.
She's gonna go into a rage.
So as you walk in, you see a few people, stringing up some banners. It looks like they're preparing for some sort of celebration. You see people starting to put together some stuff for stands. But as you look towards like the edges of town, you see they're almost completely empty. Everyone is really honed in towards the town center. No one seems to be straying too hard from where there's like a large kind of body of people. So there's, you look around, you see an inn nearby, you see a few other stores, a bakery.
As we look around there, we see most of the city are things like closed up, or is like the inn open, people in it, or are things look like it's like closed or shut down?
So the inn and a lot of the stuff in the downtown area is open, but as you were coming in, there were, especially down Karen Road, further east, there were a lot of houses that looked recently abandoned. So doors boarded up, kind of fresh wood that kind of covered them up, and a lot of fields that looked like they are ready to get harvested, corn kind of fully grown just outside of town that's just not getting touched. So it looks like a lot of those kind of external areas were a little bit emptier. The town seems bustling. They're preparing for this. They're preparing, stringers and banners and fun stuff.
Wait, do we know what the celebration is? Did you mention that, or is it just like a generic?
So you see
fun
people
time
walking
event?
across the street. You can always talk to them if you. Or in any of the people in the inn will usually have a pretty good
Do we know why we ended up in this town?
You guys all are going to a gambling convention. So different people have different, relationships with this, amazing sport of gambling. Whether it's on the addiction side or whether it's on the profit.
Yes.
Sport of gambling.
Gambling journey.
So the innkeeper actually is kind of leading like a set of games that she's working with the accountant to put together.
Yeah, I would imagine that I probably would be fairly familiar with the innkeeper, and I would have obviously brought Zuga with me and recommended to the others around town that this stay at.
Yep. So the owner that you're very familiar with is called Kylesa. So she's kind of like a nice, like very, very friendly, very frank, kind of like the town gossip, as you might say. So when she sees you come in, let's say you guys all made it into the inn, got off, put your feet up by the fire. It's very cozy, a lot of comfortable tables, a big bar that stretches end to end. And then a lot of the tables inside the inn, kind of like in the dining area, are set with different games of dice, games of chance, stuff like that. So, you all have your starting gold, so you're welcome to kind of throw down with each other in terms of seeing if you guys want to make some money. But, once Kalissa sees you, she strolls over, puts both of her elbows on the bar, and she's like, "Hey, honey, how you doing?" And also, I forgot to mention.
She's from
What?
Brooklyn.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Brooklyn of Westeros or whatever.
Do we have any gold at all?
You will have started with
You
somebody.
should have starting gold based
Is
on your
it in
background.
the application?
One other note. So this is just an extra mechanic that kind of works and that we're adding in a little bit. Is these are so advantage means you can roll the dice twice and take the higher score. So it's very, very powerful. So let's say you say, "Hey, I want to see if this guy saw me or noticed me when I was stealthing around." You can roll the dice to see that, and then let's say you failed it, you can roll it again. So these tokens are very valuable. I can give them to you for playing up to your character. Yes, and it actually
It's actually in D&D. It's called
wow.
Inspiration.
yeah. So it's GM inspiration versus bardic, but the thing that we're gonna start with in this. Thanks for the host, whoever that was. Anyways, but we're gonna start with whoever wants to take on a silly accent.
No, I'll.
All right. No. I mean, so everybody can claim it. Everybody, or just if you, and this doesn't have to happen immediately because I know this is the first game, but using an accent gets you a point to start
It's
out.
forever?
You
Like,
can,
your character has an accent now, or just like.
Yes.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's no
Too
problem.
late.
No.
Okay. Yeah. So if you don't want it, you don't want to go the accent route. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Okay, so absolutely, you're down. And then if you guys adopt it, or just play to your character. So remember, we wrote down all these troubles. We wrote down all these things. If you guys start doing that, showcasing your gambling problems, you earn points. You get advantage.
To that end, what was her name?
Kylissa.
Kylissa.
Yeah, honey.
So, I see that you have several games out here. I'm afraid you're one short, though.
You don't say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only seeing about 3 table games out here, and it'd be fantastic if you'd allow me, of course, to set up a 4th.
Well, absolutely, but we just haven't had the customers these days. It's been a little bit quiet. Just
I
kind of
figured-
smoked a lot.
Are you feeling quite alright? You seem a little under the weather.
Oh, that hurt Dave.
I've been in business for years, honey. Let me tell you about this gambling hall. But she says, "Listen to me. I would love to put a 4th table together, but where are my customers? This was supposed to be, one of the gambling fairs. We were trying to play off a delegation. Everyone's left town."
I mean...
Who are you?
What was your? I didn't hear. Blimey.
I really want to play some games!
I do
Allowed.
remember last year it was quite busier, but I believe my friends here are very interested in losing some of their hard-earned money to you, so by no
I
means.
need to win!
The little child plays to win.
This one is quite loud, but I do believe she is. They.
Get it?
They. I do believe they are quite.
You got an extra
skilled
point
these
playing
days.
your
You mean the
character.
two toddlers?
Oh, sorry.
One on top of the other?
They're great extras. They can catch everything.
Do not accent too.
Play to win.
I don't get an accent.
Well, she played to the they character.
Yeah, that's the they.
Oh. It's like flowers.
All right. So she says, "Okay, well, we can put another table together, honey, if you want. No problem."
I'll man it myself. Don't worry.
So, because you guys have had this rapport built, but as a businessman, you put the table together, you set up the game of choice, but you notice that the inn is, it gets, like 5 p.m., and the inn is already starting to clear out. Even the few people that were at the tables have kind of gone home, and it looks like right around sunset, people are taking off.
Hey, Lisa, where is everybody's going?
She shakes her head and she's like, "Listen, we're trying to make ends meet. There's going to be a big shindig coming in the next couple of weeks. But all we've been hearing is these crazy rumors about what's been going on in the damn fields around town. Just stuff's been going crazy lately. I don't know.
Tell me about that.
Tell me!
Damn it!
You sound awfully familiar to a bridge troll I met once.
It's true. My accent's recycled.
Like trash might be on the floor.
Well, so she looks at you and she's like, "Listen, I don't want any trouble. I don't want to get involved with whatever's going on. You just mind your business. I'll mind mine, okay?"
Yeah, but Gucci is part of the deal, so whatever impacts gambling here impacts him too. So.
Well, he's been a business associate, but what in these times with some of the stuff I've been hearing, I just don't want to get involved. I don't want anybody. I've been open for 20 years. I've been smoking for 25 of them.
Who have you talked to?
I'm 26 years old.
Kyla, you seem so stressed out. Can I buy you a round?
Yeah, you can definitely buy a round of my beer for me. No problem. So, the beer here is whatever. We'll say one copper. So we'll call it a cheap round this time since this is the warm up round.
Where do I
And I'll give
find
you 2
my...
copper anyway.
What's that?
I'll give 2 copper anyway.
Okay.
If she'll put in 1, I'll put in the extra 1.
Okay. So 2 coppers for the beer. You guys both get mugs of beer, and she just goes back to the bar. The inn's quieting down. You have your table set up, and it looks like she is. She goes over to some of the customers, and she's just kind of having like whisper conversations. But there's definitely kind of a tension to her shoulders.
So
Can I? So roll persuasion.
Oh.
First roll of the game.
First roll of the game.
D20?
Roll.
Yep, D20.
Do I have a modifier for that?
Great
Would
question.
that be like an
Do
ability
you?
or whatever?
Yeah, so you'll have a persuasion skill
I highly doubt it.
based on charisma. Yeah.
Oh, I do have charisma. Oh, but I don't have extra persuasion, so no. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. She hates it.
Plus your bonus
So-
though.
Wait, I have no
Oh, you have
extra
nothing.
persuasion, yeah.
She just looks away.
So I wait for one of the
The gambler to leave, and I'm asking I'm going to ask him some question personally. And when he's outside, I will try to.
Oh, so the guy that she was just speaking with?
No, just one of the
And
guys.
as,
One of
as
the
he walks
gamblers.
outside, I'll be like, and do treat him nicely. He seemed like a fine gentleman.
So you go outside and talk to the gambler,
I try
and
to intimidate him, so I just grab him, put it on the wall, someplace where nobody will see me. And
Violent with it.
yeah, so you throw him against the wall.
yes, you want me to strength?
Intimidation.
Intimidation.
Okay, I have +2. 7.
So you throw him against the wall. I mean, it's kind of like a thin, sort of scrawny, sallow-faced guy. Yeah. Oh. Delightful. But and so you throw him against the wall. What do you say? You're like, what's going on? Tell me.
Something. Yeah. There's something here people won't talk about. Tell me what's it.
And he's like, listen, man, like, we're in town. What are you going to do to me? And he, like, shoves one of your hands off, and he's like, I'm more worried about what's going to happen out of town. And he just walks away.
Oh, mystery.
I will try to follow him sneakily.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, sorry,
roll
can
stealth.
you rehash the dynamics that we have? Because I know that I've chosen you as a personal trainer because I'm very
I was
confident in
with
that way.
a group.
Mhm.
But
Never mind.
who do you know?
So Mikhail started working with me when he came to the city to distance himself from his family.
Mhm.
Right.
Because I run gambling rings and
And
whatnot.
he's in love with the gnome girl.
And he's in love with a gnome girl. I saw you when you came in and knew that you were somehow found out that you were a they, and that intrigued me. So we probably became friends at some point. You knew her from whatever you two know.
I was like, she's tall, personal trainer.
How did we find out about?
You and I'm not related to these. I stole.
Oh, and you stole.
Now
from
she's
me.
in your debt, we'll say.
I made
So,
a collection.
yeah, we're not.
You beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, I had my
You had
my
some guns beat the shit.
my personal defense assistant.
Oh yeah. So
Oh,
you
you're
beat
the
shit out of
bookseller.
me.
I remember you.
And-
People are gonna she or him. Okay.
Okay, so
No, I wrote female. Shit.
It's okay. And a they.
I'm
Another they. It's a very trans.
Like I said, I'm like anonymous. I'm
Yeah.
And so
And
so-
we are all.
Yeah, we are all pick a
has
Rick.
brought Book Thief back, and who is now trying to work off her debt to me.
Yep. We'll say working off debt.
Do you have any? Are you connected to anybody?
Just you and then him. I haven't met any other half orc barbarians, but I can tell he was working with somebody's thug, and so I kind of got my note to him. Personal defense assistant. And then I was also going to say, I probably found out that you got beaten up by him, and so I probably am like,
You
feel a little bad for
homie,
me, and I'm like taking you under my wing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Okay.
"Shoot."
And did we all just
Okay.
we all just
Okay.
happened to land at this gambling convention?
So he went to this gamble. So he knew Kalisa personally, and she invited him down long before, and along like months and months ago. So now he's just coming in, going to one of his like annual conventions. It's usually like way more lit than this, and she's just kind of manning the tables. And then you guys either came along either through your own gambling addictions, living nearby, or your indebtedness to.
General debauchery.
Okay.
Yeah.
I chased a butterfly. I didn't know.
Sure.
Yeah, she just chased a butterfly.
And I
was like,
chased
come on.
tickle nips or
Yeah.
whatever her name is.
Two nips.
Okay.
Friggin'
Close
nips.
enough. Close enough.
I
made it.
Okay.
I say
Western
that.
is not great.
My mother hated
Do we
it.
have a room in the hill or?
So you can either rent a room here. You notice there are some other establishments down the way, but you'll probably get a discount because you guys know Kalisa.
Well, I'd love to hear look around.
Obviously,
You don't
we
mind?
have rooms. I don't know about that.
Do we share a room
I
or
want
not?
too.
You all want a room?
We're going to go on a walk in Pine Flowers. That sounds lovely.
I'm gonna look
Okay.
at Pebbles. Maybe.
No, and actually, that's also why I have hired a personal defense assistant, because even by myself, I don't like.
It's true. I just hates being alone. That's an odd number. One is the loneliest number.
Wait, 2? Oh, you're gonna be very uncomfortable the whole campaign.
Okay.
I want to like go in
I'm
the
not
bar,
first,
but I
I'm
also
just
wanna
like-
No,
go
you're
look
two.
together right
So
now.
we're
I find days to be two people.
at
You're
flowers, but I
like
also want to
sort
kind
of
of check out the
like
rest of town.
identity.
You count
Sure.
both.
Okay.
I'm whatever number of people
Okay.
you want.
So
You
so
identify as two people.
So it sounds like the group is splitting a little bit, and that's totally good. So what's happening so far is Feather Widget and I think you are probably are going out and kind of walking around town. And are you guys going to join them, or do you want to stay in the inn with Kalisa?
So where has?
And you guys, let's
I'm
say
coming
all
back.
You're coming back
before
in?
this, you all had a beer together, and you're kind of all pretty amicable, and at least like are on. Yeah, and you all have you have room set up with Kalisa, and you guys are you're all kind of invested in saying, hey, these are the people around me.
You said there was some sort of kerfuffle going on in the middle of town.
So yeah, they're setting up some banners. They're setting up different kind of events.
Looks like
and
the
that sort of thing.
celebrations roller, the convention's really starting tomorrow.
Well, that's not for the gambling convention. Is very small, a little bit more underground. This seems to be for a separate type of thing going on.
Oh.
Yeah,
Are they going to
I'd be
sacrifice a
willing to,
virgin or something?
Yeah.
Lady and it's
Hey!
Shall we join them?
The other one?
I mean, we can obviously follow along it unless they don't want our company. Of course.
Let's look for the
Only if you don't kill anything along the way.
Oh, would you like to follow the other gentleman? Is that what you're saying?
I'm going to kill something.
I
So,
don't like it when people
I
kill
will-
things.
I don't feel that.
I will follow along
That's
to
a
see
side
where.
part of what I'm doing.
Okay, so let's say you guys all kind of head down that east-west road, Karen.
We're all together.
Yeah, because you guys are all
We're
relatively
probably-
acquainted. Yeah.
We're kind of in.
You two are kind
You're
of
meandering in the
behind.
same direction,
Kind of like-
but not
okay.
in together.
It's like when you
Yeah.
start school and you like don't know anybody yet, so you're kind of like awkward. And
You're
you're
such
like,
a-
yeah, and you're like, oh, this is my friend, and you don't talk to them
Yeah.
for
I hope
a year.
I'm
But
cool.
like,
So there's a few people setting up just the banners. You see, there's a few farmers, like the kind of the outskirts of town, like even the ones like maybe like a block or two down seem to be kind of starting to shut down. They're like 5:30. But the people still in the town center are like setting things up, but they're like throwing looks like actually roll me, I think it's perception.
ooh, everyone?
Yeah, everybody roll me
Yeah.
perception.
Yeah,
So
so
is
was
it?
it?
Yeah, that's D20, and
12.
then add your perception.
7
Ooh,
plus.
plus 1.
12.
19.
Okay. So you twitchy.
You still got to roll.
17 for me.
Okay, so 2.
So it'll be under your skills,
Oh,
and
okay,
you'll have
plus one.
a. So you got 11.
11.
Okay, so you two notice, kind of at the very edge of town, all the doors are shut. The people who are setting up the, kind of like the event stuff, they're throwing looks over their shoulders, and like some of them are even starting to like kind of like leave, while the others are just like hurrying to like put the last few touches on. The sun is like just getting down to. It's like 5:30, so it's like summerish right now, so still relatively high in the sky, but maybe like another hour left of sunlight.
Is there a feeling of like trying to get the center of town done before something comes from the outside of town?
Yeah.
That's somebody.
Interesting.
I don't
Let's
know.
look at one of the.
Wait, I think I have an investigation check. Yeah. Oh wait. What could I do to make? I have a +5 investigation.
So you can.
So how do I take advantage of that?
So you can just say that you're like investigating like the surroundings and looking at like, okay, what are they hanging up? Do I see anyone that like vicious as
Oh yeah, let me just. I get closer just to like see what type of thing they're setting up.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll. Yeah, sorry. She has a pretty high investigation. She'll probably make it.
22.
Yeah. So yeah, no problem. So as you walk up to the town center, you notice the one of like the little banners with kind of the triangle like paper segments say welcome delegates. So you definitely realize this is not for the gambling, like the under the seated gambling convention. Yeah, for my other people. So it's like welcome delegates. You see that there seems to be some sort of podium set up, and as you as you observe the townspeople, all of them are looking pretty much south. Like so, they're all looking down at that southern road, which is called the Long Road.
Look south and see anything.
Just you can roll perception, but actually, you don't. It's just an empty road.
So I'll ask one of the people there, and I'll just say, I see you guys are clearly setting up for something here. What's so interesting that way?
And I say, what's the deal with the South Road?
What I meant to say was exactly what they said over there.
Greatest accent of all time.
I was trying to figure out what it is. Besides fantastic, of course.
Go ahead and roll me. roll me another investigation, because I guess that would count as if you're just asking him straight up.
What if
Who asked the question?
I did.
Maybe
Okay.
charisma?
What if I'm
That could be charisma.
I mean,
Yeah.
So for charisma, that'd be like, would it be like persuasion? Like I'm persuading them to
Yeah.
try something?
Yeah. You can use persuasion. I'll let that roll. So you ask them what's going on in the South Road, and they'll be like, and it's just like a kind of a thinner lady, and you know, she seems to be kind of like helping with a lot of like the decorations, and she's like, I don't know, it's just something the quarry workers said, and then she just like kind of drops what she's doing, so she like even just like leaves the kind of the work she was doing unfinished.
Is
and
everyone
just
the
goes.
same?
Yeah, so it's like I mean, you know, they're leaving that corn unharvested.
Oh yeah.
Are
Take her
there
off down the South Road.
are there any children around?
You hear them in buildings, and you see them like in buildings. So like, especially some of like the inns where there's like a lot of people congregated. There seems to be more kids than average in kind of bigger buildings where there's like a lot of people
Yeah,
around.
they're good at pickpocketing.
Yeah, they're good at pickpocketing. They are.
Well, I'm with you. I mean, it seems to be that something's very entertaining down that way. I'm fairly bored as a
Can I
here.
talk to a kid?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
seems
ask the
like
kid what's going on.
We're
Right.
aware now.
So I'm a
Oh,
short
we just
person.
walked down the South
So
Road.
you can, sneak away.
Okay, yeah, and it seems like kids are going to be less subtle about their intentions. I'm going to walk up to a kid and be like, "Hey, buddy!
Hey, I'm one of you.
What you doing?"
Oh, jeez.
Just like a kid.
Oh,
Go ahead and roll me. You're still gonna have to roll for that. You're gonna still have to roll me persuasion, or whatever, persuasion or investigation, whatever is highest. We'll let that one be a little bit on advantage, pretty much.
12.
I think that's enough for a kid. So he's like, oh, well, we're staying at the inn, you know, this week. You know, it's like fun. I'm on a vacation. You know, we left home last night just outside of town. Now everybody's here at the inn, and we get to all hang out.
Last night? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he just came in last, so they've been staying for like the whole
Oh,
week
I
since
see.
last night.
Okay.
What did your mom and dad say about why you had to leave home?
They
Subtle.
Pickle red special.
pickle egg special.
Pickle red!
Let's go. So that is the best episode of the season. So pretty much, so he's like, oh well, one of Mom's friends from the quarry in the southeast, you know, came over, and I don't know, they were talking, and then right after that, Mom and Dad had us pack our stuff, and then we came here, and we've been staying at the inn ever since.
I think we should walk down the South Road, don't you guys think?
I'm down.
That sounds like a
I'm
good idea.
down!
Please believe me.
As long as you two walk first, I'll follow. It's no big deal.
Are you trying to say that I'm part of violence?
I'm very tall and strong!
I'm trying to say that you are quite large and I am quite nice. So,
Am I really big and strong?
how are you?
Like 4'5".
I'm a scared 4'2", so.
What's your race? Oh. How tall are halflings? Did I?
I don't know. You're probably
overshoot my
taller
height?
than.
Related?
I mean, he
Go
didn't say
grow
what,
your hair
he
out.
didn't say what kind of gnome.
You can say no.
He
I-
didn't say- if he said
I
no,
didn't
I
say lady.
Oh,
No.
you didn't? That's what we
It
were
was
talking
just.
about. I've got this
The love of his
wonderful
life.
great axe and these two hand axes, and if one is any trouble.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I'm not
Not yet?
scared. I'm not even a little nervous. But hold my hand,
The
please.
sun's barely going down.
Hold-
We've got plenty of
hold me.
Wow, cool, darling.
Got mine.
Don't be so scared.
Well,
I'm totally gonna have a dragon right now. He's like, oh shit, like turning the pages. How far
He's
ahead
like-
are you going?
So what do we do? Kill them all.
If
Okay.
they fucked up, go find
My favorite part. It's killing
Yeah,
all of them.
yeah, I'm about 3 feet tall. My 4'5" thing was a big overshoot.
Maybe.
Lion King walk.
How much is
I
that?
don't like liars.
They're standing about 3 feet
I-
tall.
So this is that.
I have a
nice.
Oh my gosh, I'm a short person.
And considering they're half orcs and generally much taller than average, you look even smaller by comparison.
Oh, nice. You can carry me in your
But
pocket.
you know what's great about being small is you can hide behind large people. Like not even just like stylist, like mechanically
Yeah, you're
you
between
can hide
6 and
behind
7
them.
feet
Yes.
tall, so
Yeah.
you're twice my height.
I said I was 75 inches.
What does that equal?
Yeah, I got to do some math.
6'3" or
About
something.
6 foot. Yeah, 6'3". You
Slight
were a
jump.
gnome.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly.
This is the most important part of the game to me. Clearly, I'm like, how tall is everyone? I need to know.
Everyone is a giant.
Shiny dwarves are pretty tall too.
I just live in a wonderful.
Oh yeah, you're about slightly over 3 feet tall, so you might even be a little bit taller than me.
So I'm 4'2", 89 pounds, and I'm 99 years old.
You're 99 years
Me a
old.
baby.
Yeah, so these type of gnomes
Oh,
would be like
that's tall.
200.
Half orcs only live to
Oh wait,
75,
would
so
the
I'm 18.
halflings age be in here also? Like age
You're
rating?
18.
Half orcs, they're like fully grown. They're until they're 75.
Oh,
So I
okay.
said I was 18.
Okay, so you all walk down the south road.
Wow, we went deep into the game. Shit.
Get excited, boys.
Are we about to die?
Get excited, boys
Why
and
do we
girls.
fuck up? Are we
No,
about to
you're good,
die?
you're good.
It's always terrifying when you're starting at the book and now we've hit the halfway point.
And we're still
That
up.
was
Just
fast.
by going down the street?
I think it's kind of like a sandbox thing, so depending on the situation or choice,
it
they may
jumps
kind of
wherever.
flips you to wherever.
Yeah, and I'm like hijacking different things. I'm like not following their traditional whatever. Anyways,
Got you.
so you all walk down the road, and you see as you approach, kind of the houses fade out pretty quickly. They get smaller and smaller and kind of less, even like small towny. The cornfields pop back up. Yeah.
When we see an empty house, can we just look at it if there is any mark or anything burned? Is it?
Yeah, so you look over at the houses, and they're very similar to the ones you saw coming in from the east road. All the windows are boarded up, the doors are boarded up. But it looks relatively untouched. Even like the field, the corn, the cotton, everything outside of these houses is pretty much untouched, unharvested, just kind of left fallow. As you walk down the road, maybe about a mile or two, you start to see. I know you guys are getting out of town a little bit.
Piggyback ride from
Yeah.
Featherwitch.
Yeah.
Can I get a piggyback
Yeah.
ride from?
Maybe we can. You know what? Instead of walking, maybe we can just wait for the thing to come by.
That is obviously
We
something
stay
you
here.
terrified the shit out of
But
the
it
town.
definitely seems sinister. Can we hold up
We
in
camped
one
out
house
here for
and
6
wait?
months.
Wait
Put on the
6
roof
months.
and then jump onto it.
Or can
Well-
we go off the road into the bushes so we're like.
Oh, yeah.
not on the main
We
road?
assumed it's gonna like stroll down Main Street.
I don't mind even the bushes.
Or maybe a little-
Hey!
Hey guys, look at me. Come on,
Murder and destruction. Yeah, it's a good call. Good plan, guys.
So it might be something slightly less.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
sure if you guys know we're really good at this game.
Yeah, pros.
Other widget has great ideas.
That is a good idea, though. I think we should hide somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so too.
Where's the sun in the sky?
So the sun's still like late afternoon. It's
But
only been
is it
about
kind of
30
like, the way
minutes.
I picture
We've
it is
done
like the village is
3
like
miles.
kind of far away at this point where we can't like really hear. We can kind of hear what's going on, but we're
Yeah,
far enough away
the town
where-
sounds are kind of quieted down. Like it's much
So-
more like verdant now. You can kind of.
Looking at the landscape.
What do you see? That,
So they kept talking about these quarry workers, right? Is the quarry in this general direction? Are we walking
Yeah.
towards said quarry?
yes, I was just getting to that. So yeah, pretty much
What's a query?
at this mile marker.
Oh, okay.
At this mile marker, you're starting to see sort of the cornfields stop, like a little bit behind you, and the ground is starting to slope downwards and kind of to the left of the road. You see maybe about another. It's still sunlight, so you can see maybe about a quarter mile out, half mile ahead of you. Like there's actually a road that's like taking pretty a steep dive to the left, and then the rocks are sort of like turning more like kind of crystalline quartz type rocks. And then it kind of is sloping downhill, and it's kind of on your left as you're going south.
So can I try to impress everyone around me with a sense of
I'm gonna start.
We're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to do a little.
I'm full of shit, so I'm clearly lying. So I want.
So that'll be performance.
Bullshit, but no one's gonna believe me.
It's not a deception.
That'll be deception. Roll it.
All right. I'm gonna try to deceive you, and you can.
You can
the
roll
opposite
against
of that
it.
is insight, so you can insight check me to see if I'm bullshitting
Okay.
you or not.
Okay.
Hold on. That is
Insight.
6
Yeah.
plus.
So what's your story? So tell us your deception.
So I see. What's 9 is what it is.
So how much do you know about rocks,
So,
Mr. Nine?
I will go into a grand tale of, well, you see, once we start getting down the road, you'll see the rock starting to get slightly redder as
I think he
we go.
Then.
What that clearly means is we are getting to the more mineral-rich versions of the rocks that they've built this wonderful town with. As you get deeper and deeper, as the color changes darker and darker, you'll get closer and closer to where the
I fall
giant
asleep.
gem deposits are.
And are you inside now?
I'm going on just like pontificating about things I know nothing about.
Can I actually just get him to shut
I
up?
wanted to do that.
I mean,
No.
roll initiative if you want to do that.
And then he will defend me.
Deal.
Okay, let's launch inside.
Roll initiative.
Oh, 19!
Oh!
So you're like, yeah, the rocks are red. I love red rocks. So you think he knows, like,
Well,
oh
no,
my
that
god.
was me rolling to hit.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's-
you missed.
Can I
You haven't
roll
done
to
insight?
like try and disprove him?
Oh yeah,
Like,
roll. You have to
this
roll.
guy is, like,
Oh,
so
remember,
full of
you're
shit,
neutral.
like-
You have to
wouldn't
roll
do that.
insight.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
neutral.
So
Yeah.
To hurt him just to shut him up.
Oh, okay.
and
Don't listen to this
and-
guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
So I'm.
So full of shit.
Would you roll it. And that. Wait, no, that's that.
That's
To be
not a
fair,
D20.
that's a D10, not a D20.
So what?
Okay.
So everybody
So-
buys it,
No,
except for you.
Yeah.
But you're his
I'm-
bodyguard.
Yeah, so
I'm so sorry.
I
I
just-
was wrong.
I'm just saying. And so I smack his back like, oh, you're always full of shit. I like that. Very hard.
What can I say?
I made my mistake. I'm fully asleep.
That's why the sun is up.
Yeah.
I'm so asleep, you guys.
I'm exhausted.
Okay, so do we go left or
Okay, so
or-
as the sun is getting a little bit lower, you see a number of people starting to come out of that road. And have you guys left the road yet?
Yeah, we kind of.
Okay, so you kind of have
Yeah,
moved
yeah.
off the road.
Do we want to stealth?
Well, I'll
Okay.
kind of set it up for you. So you see a group of maybe 6 or 12 people like making pretty good pace, coming up off that road, and they all have like kind of like helmets on, like kind of steel. They have like pickaxes, shovels, and they're like just bombing back towards town. So they're not running, but they're power walking, like like they're in a power walking contest. Roll perception.
I'm not rolling good. It doesn't matter.
Well, you're pretty.
No,
I mean, it's not a very hard check, so if you have at least a couple. Oh, that's fine. It's a very easy check. But,
Okay.
so then, yeah, you kind of see them looking over their shoulders. They seem very nervous.
Wait, what were we saying?
Do they
Okay.
seem
Running up the street.
I was
Yeah,
asleep.
that's the quarry.
do they seem attacked or do they just?
No, I mean it's sundown. I mean, so you kind of see the sun is starting to hit the horizon, and they still have to make a living. I think
Get
to
a
some
strong
degree.
person to like stop.
I'm thinking maybe we should.
That would be fine.
Like, go
Well, they're
and
coming
just
up, so you
wait for
guys.
everything to come.
So you guys are running a little low on time, so they're kind of coming up to your guys' position, maybe about.
Okay, I'm gonna
100
jump
yards
out and be
away.
Like,
Hello, friends.
So they all just like.
I do a somersault
Jump.
off of
Racist,
Feather
isn't she?
Witch's head. Feather Witch's head.
What you do a
So she's giving me a piggyback ride.
Yeah.
I come to her shoulders and I do a somersault.
And they do a
She's like, "Hello,
pirouette.
friends," and I go,
Okay.
They're like,
If that's
Yes.
not an acrobatics check, I don't know what
I
it
know.
is.
Yeah.
I was going to say this.
No, that's good.
I really want to do it.
I really
Yeah,
want
well,
you-
roll
I really want you to
acrobatics.
fail
Yeah.
hard.
No, we've not been rolling very good. So
Great certificate. That's it.
no, that's okay.
18.
Wait, I have a modifier.
Oh, it's even it.
I have 20.
Oh, nice.
You
I
rolled like a
landed.
20 and a 22 so far. What is
So-
this shit?
Initially, these
Rolled a
guys.
1 and a 2 so far.
Yeah, have
Or
a
the
Mercury on your
birthday
name.
Not 2 ones in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, so initially, seeing just Feather Widget's hulking form, they look terrified. But then you do this beautiful pirouette, and they're like, and they just kind of like slowly, kind of like do like the sideways walk,
So
like
I
as
said, I'm
they
in front of them.
Yes, and they're like,
I'm
"Ugh."
like, where are you going, friend?
can we help you?
And I'm acting completely disinterested off on the side of the road.
Yeah,
I'm just posing.
like, and they kind of are looking at you guys, and
So then I'll ask you, like, what's going on at the quarry tonight?
We just trying to leave early and then get home and all.
So,
Where do you live? What's your address?
Well, we normally live out in the
Choose
farms.
The only fucking street here.
I'm looking at one,
Number 2.
two, three,
North south. We normally live out in the farms, but we're in town tonight.
So there's no reason we shouldn't go to the quarry then.
he looks at you. I would roll investigation. You guys got to make some of these rolls, or else you will not know what's going
I
on.
know, that's
Clickety
Come
clack.
on, baby, come on. 15.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
So
not bad.
that's good. That's a good one. So good. Good deal. So he pretty much is like. So he's like,
No, don't want to be out in the quarry after sunset.
What was that? What's
Something.
that here?
Something's out there. There was an accident a while back. One of our mates.
I'm still doing
Still
this.
stuck in the
Yeah.
pose.
And I turn to her and I'm like, hey,
If it's
He's
not
like, one of our
strange
mates.
Darling,
to know
darling
how
is-
long she
is-
can
No, darling is
stay,
fine.
stay like that.
He's like, one of our mates working late took a tumble, didn't make it, and then 2 nights later, 3 of our mates take a tumble, didn't make it. Something, we don't work after dark anymore. He says, I don't know, but I'm not working after dark. If somebody's been hearing voices out there, I'll tell you that. I don't know if it's people or what, he says, and he's like, but I'm not going to be around here much long to find out. And he kind of edges his way past you guys and takes off.
Short. You won't tell her,
Yeah, but I'm also a wimp, so I'm kind of scared now. A little bit.
We're pretty tough though.
Okay, people have been told.
Yeah, I'm like hiding behind you at this point. A little. I'm like holding onto your
Okay.
leg, like.
How far is the,
Literally
so I'm
take
asking
your
then,
sister
how far is
to
the,
the
I don't even know.
what's the quarry?
Yeah, the quarry is just maybe 100 yards down. Well, all the noise started happening was right where my mate fell.
I'm sorry, I zoned out there for a minute. No, I
Sorry,
People have been-
I mean, just all of you were so boring.
Just got sleepy.
Did they fell from a height or like?
No, we were digging. We were digging deep.
It's where the gems are.
Where the gems are.
Never canal?
Yeah, we were digging and there was a cave in. It was we opened up into like a large vaulted room. We've been finding a lot of good minerals there, but some strange things have been happening. That's where my friend, God rest him, passed.
I don't know whatever.
There's
Yes, there are in this
Like,
Lore broth?
Lore broth?
I have like a +3 religion check. Can I be offended by that?
What? Because
I'm gonna get a little angry. I have a +3 religion check that I really want to take advantage of.
Yes.
So I'm gonna be a little like offended off of that. I just want to roll for my religion.
Yeah. Okay. What so how's your religion check gonna influence?
So he does some sign. Oh wait,
Mhm.
I have to think about this now. I just really wanted to use the +2 because I was surprised that I had it.
Does anybody in our group have a torch?
Just 10 of them.
Yes, torches.
No, I believe a million.
I have 10 torches. No, yeah. Because I kind of threatened him a little bit. Like, bring out a torch. And I'm a little. That's not why I wanted your torch. That's what you want.
Fair name, fair name.
I mean,
Shun the non-believers.
With the torch. Kill them with the torch.
No. Wait. I just think I have to use a religion check. Yeah, I really overshot my.
If you try to use your torch,
How
I'm
many
gonna
of them?
just roll something. To
So
try and
he
get-
notices you all arguing, and he kind of takes another like inch step, and he's like, "I best be going." And he kind of starts heading out.
Here's what I do.
Okay.
Religion check. I I recognize what sign he's doing, and I replicate it. I can,
Okay.
Yeah.
You can just do
Well-
the same thing. You don't have to check.
No.
Well,
No,
it's
no,
more
I
of
like-
you
it's
check
like-
religion
it's like
to
a-
see if you understand the
No,
sign.
it's like a call and response thing. We're like,
Yeah.
we have a sign, and it's like I do like the sign in return.
Something and
All right, all right.
Yeah,
Roll,
and then I do
roll,
a
roll.
religion check.
Sure.
To like gain a stress. Oh, 11 plus
he
3.
didn't roll
I
very
rolled
well.
14.
Well, he rolled a 4. So he's like,
It was
It
trying
took
to
a bit to land on it, but we got
He
there.
was trying to mask the kind of religion he was using by signing in front of
he like does another sign. He says, "I see you're one of the followers of Globroth." But I still,
Yeah,
still
I
must.
Damn it, Glow.
was. I'm a big fan of Blob Ruth.
Globroth.
I just
He's like,
hey.
hey, he says-
Can't mess it up anymore.
He says- he kind of takes a step forward and he stops his retreat for a second. He's like, "Listen, I don't know what's going on down there. Something that first cave-in changed the caverns, but I have to go." He just like turns and goes.
Who wants to go to the cabin?
Can I have a piggyback ride, please?
I mean, that sounds significantly more dangerous than the state right now. Almost. I mean,
What are your skills and abilities?
what are my skills? And
What are your skills and abilities, my
Numbers.
friend?
So
Numbers.
actually, if you roll a, I think it would be a nature check for you.
Oh, great, because the accountants agree with nature.
I'm trying to think of the right attribute, or
Or-
nature or history, whatever's strongest.
Well, seeing as how I have +0 in both of those,
You have the
Well-
world's tiniest handwriting.
uh,
What is this?
this is
Oh, you
printed.
printed
I mean, yes, I do. Thank you.
Also the nature or
11.
So, what did you get?
just
Launch
Oh, yeah.
dice.
Launch. No, okay. So you, from your knowledge of like kind of the rocks you're seeing around,
Yeah, my deep knowledge of the rock. I would have a fairly good knowledge of the rocks. I am a deep gnome. I'm from the underground.
yeah,
Rocks are kind of my deal. Like,
yeah. So I think yours your
my
case flies.
race of gnomes are-
Oh.
You can probably make a pretty good intuition that there would be some decent monetary gain with whatever is in that cavern that they're avoiding.
I mean, they were getting pretty deep in the rocks, so there's potential for gems down there. I mean, I'm intrigued by this endeavor.
Can we
Sure.
maybe
Yeah.
a bad one
I have my bodyguard here. It's not a
Can I just
problem.
say, I don't mind violencing.
Yeah, if you met a bad
That's
rock,
good.
I see some demon.
I don't
Only
mind
against
violence at all. I make quite good profit off of violence all the time.
okay, let's go.
Just selective violence. Okay, so you all walk down the quarry and kind of go down that winding path just as the sun starts getting below the hill. And you see a number, even in the kind of like the dimming evening light, like the rocks kind of get a little slick. You see a number of kind of holes kind of cutting into the side of the mountain. As you dipped into the quarry, everybody roll me perception to see if you guys notice something.
Oh, I have another
20.
20 dice.
Oh, yeah, let's have one.
If you need an extra D20, I
I
have.
rolled a
That's-
6.
I don't know, I have
Also
also
D12.
I've been rolling some weirdly good. I rolled a 16.
It's good. Awesome.
Yeah, or 15
Okay.
plus 1.
And you probably have
So who got over a 15?
I got over 50.
I got an 11.
Okay, so well, you guys notice, and you can share with the rest if you want. You notice that right as you kind of go over and the sun is setting, you see a massive kind of graveyard stretching out on like the far, like maybe about
Like in the quarry or
no
like...
on the like a half mile. So like here's the quarry, and there's like this is like the last wall of the quarry, and like here's like a graveyard like right over here. But it seems like very very old, and it has like some of these older ornate kind of statuesque stuff like that. So you notice this thing just because like the sun kind of like backlits it as it's setting and as you guys get into the quarry. So the quarry, you see like a number of at the kind of bottom of the pit. The walls are kind of like rising up on either side. You see a bunch of these kind of tunnels digging down in various directions. The air kind of is very like gritty and gravelly. It smells like the kind of the rock has been kind of beaten up recently. And it is like really quiet. Like there is not a single sound in the quarry right now. And that's kind of odd. Like there's no animal sounds. There's nothing.
So was it an Indian cemetery?
Indian cemetery.
You know, with souls.
But it's, you know, it was a little ways back, so it wasn't.
Oh, I see, like a curse type of thing.
Yeah,
I feel
you're
like we're
cursed.
supposed to
You
go
know
to
that
the
thing.
quarry, right?
You're going
Yeah,
France.
you're the fucking haunted one.
Wait, I'm still confused the relationship of the cemetery with
So there's a
the quarry.
cemetery close
too.
to the quarry, so
Okay.
I think the
Cemetery
assumption
squad,
is
what?
that they have dug the quarry under like where this like cemetery was, and we
Under
probably hit
something.
something.
Okay. So wait, it was me and Feather Midget? It was just us who got the
Fidget
cemetery?
spinner.
No, I didn't.
Fidget spinner.
Fidget spinner.
Oh, that's your name.
So Feather Midget and I were the only ones who got the
No, I
cemetery?
got it too.
Okay, I got
Yeah, so you.
And I made the remark.
Yeah,
I got a
once.
14
And
You-
Okay, so
I
we
think
all
it was
I
you
got it.
guys.
who didn't.
And you can share it with, yeah, and you can. It was just whoever beat 15.
Look, there's a graveyard.
Yeah.
Check it out, homie.
Well, shit. You are absolutely right.
So
You hadn't noticed.
I didn't notice. Thank you for sharing with
You're
me.
welcome.
I'm scared.
The question is.
I don't like this.
I still think we
A
should
pat on the head.
I don't like this.
I have a lot of deep-seated anger and rage. Actually, that wasn't.
Yes.
I'll
Definitely
find
got-
them anywhere that you get there, I'm sure.
So there's a number of different paths.
Let's split.
Split the party, take all 5 of them.
There's 5 different paths. And by a number, I
That's
mean
how
5.
That's a ritualistic slaughter.
Yeah. So I just wanted to reset, anyways. Okay, so
language in this thing, I completely forgot what I chose as
You
my
took
language.
like deep something, right?
Deep speech and something else. Oh, wait, deep speech and Sylvan. Sorry. I'm
So-
sorry.
So yeah, so there's a number of different of these like kind of holes going down. As it gets later, kind of a sense of cold is starting to get into the air, and this kind of sense of anticipation and not wanting to be out in the open.
Perfect.
Oh, is that a character sheet? Did I have extra
I'm
ones?
really
Oh my
getting
god.
What is she writing? Her whole-
Yeah, no, I'm asleep again. I think you're having fun now.
Yeah, so you kind of get the sense that you don't want to be standing out in the open. Like there's kind of this cold sense sort of setting in. Yeah, how are you guys going to
How many
proceed?
paths there's?
5?
We're taking the third one.
I
Okay.
agree with my bodyguard, defense assistant. We will take the third. I will take the third one along.
Okay, so you guys you walk into the third path.
And
Is there
It
any difference between the paths? Or...
they're kind of in various.
See, finally someone thinks to look at the past.
Sorry, I tapped out. What are they doing?
So roll perception.
Wait, can you?
Just her
sorry.
because she's the
I
only
know
one thought
this
of
is
it.
like very
Oh,
1 hour ago, but how do
Actually,
I spell
perception.
this in versus 16? This big one.
Plus
Okay.
The big one is the total
So 20.
score, the bottom one is
So
the
you
modifier.
notice that
So-
there are fresh
So
footprints
3,
into 4 of the
2
paths,
above 10,
and you know some
plus
tools that are getting left at the door. But the one right at the center wall, like kind of
I'm just gonna
Yeah,
put in the
the center
modifier.
one.
God damn
So
it!
the third one.
So
But you notice the one right in the center is not seen recent traffic. It's pretty much been left fallow.
Well, I'll be damned. I'll tell you what it is.
So let's go to
Can
the
we
third
pick
one.
up some of the tools that are lying around?
So there are what seems to be work tools. Go ahead and I guess roll. It would be investigation. Yeah, it would be. It would be investigation to see if you can get anything useful out of them. You can just pick up a tool, but you can pick up a tool and just have it in your inventory, but you won't be able to.
I refuse to be picked up.
Yeah.
Even if you're a tool.
That's not a problem.
It's a tool.
So yeah, you see some pickaxes and stuff lying around. So you don't see that any of them can be made into weapons, but you can.
Well, you
Let's say you just got a.
Too, right?
Wait, what thingy
Was
am
it
I
investing?
adding?
I was investing.
Yeah.
Is there any killer?
Let's say you got a. Let's say you got a pickaxe, and you can write this down. And whenever you do something with digging, it's going to be +2 on any sort of digging check.
Is there any cards?
Okay. We will know that
And
you
a
have
cart, a wheelbarrow?
Yeah.
Not. Those are probably too valuable, or probably
Is there any
canary
canary?
left out? Canary? No,
Okay.
no, it's not a coal mine.
fucking canaries. I want to hear that shit.
Canary.
0 of 11, 1 of 11, 2 of 11, 3 of
What is that? What is that?
It's a deploy thing.
Oh. Okay.
I punched Twitchley in like the calf for being a big nerd. I'm gonna roll for that.
No, roll for that shit. Make an unarmed attack against me with your fucking strength.
Oh, not 20! What do I do with that?
Roll a 1d4 for damage.
It's 1d2.
Oh,
Or 1d2.
You 2?
flip.
1d4.
Oh, coin flip.
Or 1d4, 1 and 2 is 1, 2 and 4, or 3 and 4 is 0.
Or 2 is 1. So it's
2?
1.
So you do 1 damage.
Apparently for being a big nerd.
Is this loaded? Like, I've gotten very good rolls so far, and I'm a
This
little
one
bit
you mean?
skeptical. No, this one. I've gotten, like, good rolls so far.
I swear,
Good.
as soon as we fly whatever's down here, and I die because they had a 1d6 and rolled a 6, I'm gonna be real pissed.
How much hit points?
Okay.
You're trying to run away from
7
something?
total.
Your calf cramps.
So you
Yeah,
took
my calf
20.
fucking cramps up because your ass punched me for being a nerd.
You took all the cramp.
Oh, Charlie horse!
All right. Okay. So as you go into the center pathway,
I've got really good dark vision. Remember this?
yeah. So you can see everything pretty clearly. So you don't have to make as many perception checks. So it slopes slightly down. You can see kind of the signs of like pick marks and stuff on the walls. It kind of has that damp kind of smell that caves get. But as you get deeper and deeper, kind of like the air becomes a lot more like acrid and kind of like almost like smelling like rot. And you find like kind of what you think the quarry worker had described, which was kind of a slide of rock. And then you even see some like bones, sticking out beneath like kind of the like into this little rock slide, and it's blocking off the path.
I asked Zuga.
Zuga.
Touch the bones.
What? Touch the button? I did the touching.
So
I approve of it.
I also pick
the
up
bone
some
the bones there are
I'm ready to roll. If we're using my body, I'm gonna be rolling for that shit.
so the bones are pretty much inert. Nothing happens, and from what you can see around, like you see kind of like a shattered pickaxe. It seems to be they weren't able to get the guy, or they just
Is there a
left
way to
their
Oh,
hanging there.
where was the shattered pickaxe?
It's underneath kind of this like rock side that's blocking off where the tunnel was going.
The guy was making.
Yeah, so whoever had done it seems to be like still there, and it seemed that they just left it.
So
So are they trying to unblock the tunnel, or are they just trying to discover what is there?
So you can assume that probably the quarry workers were going deep, and then this cave-in happened.
So we can.
So you can feel air coming through this tunnel, and coming from between the
Can I
rocks.
do this investigation check? Can I investigate?
I also have
Yeah.
like some fucking drugs.
Okay, I'm gonna roll for an investigation check.
Or are you Dragonborn?
Yeah. What the fuck? 15 plus 5. I rolled a 20.
Okay,
But I
so
totally used
so
to
you
roll.
notice that
No, I know, but I'm doing very good ones.
After time we rested.
I'm suspicious.
very suspicious. So yeah, you notice that there is sort of air coming out, and that's where a lot of that like kind of more acrid odor is coming from. Is from whatever the rock slide covered, and you get like the sense that this guy probably the event happened like a few days ago. Like it probably shouldn't be like bones at this
Can
point.
I tell anything
Something
about
has-
like, what the air is made up of? Like is it just airs or like sulfur or like some sort of?
No, there's
elements
no
in
like
there?
there's nothing that you can tell in terms of a dangerous element to the air. It
Okay.
just
How
kinda
about like
smells
how
old.
powerful the air coming out is? Is it like a wind is coming out, or is it just like air flowing through?
Very much just kind of static airflow, just like kind of like what there'd be here if there were two doors
So there's
open.
some kind of chamber back there.
Do you hear me?
There's an opening.
No.
Wait, but what you're saying is that the bones shouldn't have like appeared just over.
No.
The
Well, I mean, this was their
dead.
worker.
Shouldn't have been bones by now.
Yeah.
He
So,
decomposed
He
like
decomposed
faster
way
than
too
we-
fast.
Okay.
Something
Or
ate
got
the
eaten.
meat
Oh,
from
we're
the bone.
thinking.
So
Okay.
we picked up that pickaxe. We know we can like dig a little bit faster. Is it fast enough for us to?
Oh yeah, wait. Does my
Or-
investigation check pick up on how stable this rock slide is? Like, if we start to take things off, is it going to cave in more, or is it like we can just kind of clear it out?
I think we should all stand back and you should find out.
I mean, I rolled
Or-
a 20, so like I feel like I should
you
be
can
getting a
try
good
to
amount
through
of.
whatever hole there is.
Oh, you're small too. We're about the same height. We're all 3 feet tall here.
He's 4'2".
I'm agree.
We're all.
We can just let you in the cave and
comfy
we can go drink
How
at the
tall
bar.
are you? Like 6 something.
Like 6 something.
So you're 6 something. You're 6 something. How tall are you?
Dude, we're like
Orc size.
As a last resort, I have
so one
some,
thing
like,
you-
dragon breath I can probably get.
Yeah, so on your
So
investigation
you're
check,
orc size?
Half orc size.
Half orc. Okay.
didn't find out.
Yeah,
I need the science right now.
You asked what your investigation
Oh, yeah.
check gave, and then he tried to tell you, and then you didn't.
Did you not tell me?
I told you part of it, but it's all good. It's all
Oh, no,
good.
tell me more.
It's
Tell me more. I thought it was over.
It's too late.
No, it's not.
No, it's good. So yeah, you see the airflow.
What else? I thought it was over.
Listen to the DM.
I am.
Okay, let's go.
No, you're fine.
Can we? If we continue, will we be blocked to come back, or can we just climb back and?
I'm gonna start pulling
No.
rocks out.
Okay, so roll me a strength check. This is not. They're not crazy hard. Oh shit.
Well, my strength is -2, so that's a 10.
Yeah, I mean, you're able to get some of the first few rocks out. It actually is not too difficult work, and it really seems that whatever happened to this guy, they just stayed away.
And I'll
I
look.
see him lift a rock and I see how small he is, and so I go
Yeah,
over and I just
and-
start like. giving him the
I'll just kind of look over and be like, "Really? I'm the one that's doing this right now."
I go over. I try and pick up like a 50-pound rock.
Nobody's
Like the
trying
biggest
to.
rock, and then I can't do it, so I start just like shoveling sand with my hands.
So
I hate him, so I just.
um,
Like, he doesn't remember me at all, so he's confused as to why I'm so mad at him.
No, this is what I do. You're lifting like incredibly heavy rocks, and I'm like touching it to like seem like I'm helping. I'm just like putting my fingers on it, like, yep,
I got this.
Team.
I got this.
So what I'm
She
doing.
like, you actually think she's helping. You're like,
So
wow.
what I'm doing is using my mace,
Yeah.
crush rock, so they can carry it.
Okay.
Oh, very good.
So
That's why we keep them around.
everybody, roll me a dexterity throw.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
They're just straight dexterity.
Oh, that's
Straight dex.
good.
11.
What the fuck are these rolls? 18.
Are you
Nice.
fucking kidding me?
No, I'm also like as shocked as you are.
Wait, where's
5.
Okay.
Dexterity is just like your straight modifier. So
I want to roll a critical hit.
Oh.
So
You don't have to choose.
everybody who've been so eagerly yanking out rocks, one thing as you're pulling a rock out, you yank the rock out and you see a pickaxe, like a pickaxe head, kind of wedged between a stone. You see some like a wire running back from it, but you're not able to grab it in time. So the pickaxe falls, the wire triggers, and you hear like a crashing sound out, like deep within, like kind of a dark cavern forward, and then you start to hear like the rustle of footsteps
Footsteps from behind the.
from behind the rocks.
Are they big, like, boom, boom footsteps, or like normal?
Like
size?
human,
yeah. Or like
Um,
those are the 3 footsteps.
we have now clearly defined our problem set.
Or like,
Is the problem big, large, or enormous?
I feel like these footsteps would be able to crush me.
Yeah.
how crushy are
Should I
they?
go into the range?
Whose footsteps do they
He's
sound
pulling
like?
out the monster manual, so this is a bad sign.
On a scale of
I'm
Kira
not monster, that's what I
to
think.
Yuga,
Great.
whose footsteps are they?
Please refer to giant monster the party should not have encountered.
Sorry guys, it's been really fun.
Legendary dragon.
And it's a
Roll
black
for level
dragon.
27 party.
Yeah. Oh, God.
How do we level up?
Experience. Things.
So as we kill things or as we hit milestones in the story, we'll.
If you kill the accountant, you can
If you kill the accountant, it's literally worth 0 experience and not worth your time because he's so small and dainty. However, the barbarians are, whew, that's like, you can't get more
Good
experience
luck,
than
Tom.
that.
Good luck. We're tough.
Sorry?
How tall are you?
Regular?
Okay,
Well, you're
Yeah,
between
he
6 and 7 feet tall, but
6 and
I
6 and a
handle
half.
the numbers around here. He's not so good with the numbers.
so as you all are kind of conferring, like the rest of the rocks that were blocking the path, just like fly backwards.
Ooh.
I'll act
Um,
as if I did that with my
Like they're being like sucked in backwards.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
They all pull backwards and you kind of start rolling towards it.
fascinating.
Yeah, we're gonna
Start
die, you
rolling towards
guys.
it?
This is not good.
We're not in a good spot.
No,
now.
I
it's
So-
start running away.
I have my mace in my hand already.
Your
Right.
mice?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or your mace?
I
Yeah,
got a great axe.
He chose mice as his weapon.
I have 3 rats.
I feel the
I will
rage
throw them
flowing
at
through
you.
my blood.
No, sorry, I will launch them at you.
I'm ready for
Okay.
rage.
Okay, you're ready for a rage. All right. So, like,
It's a mole. Sorry.
everybody. So
Are we rolling initiative?
you hear a voice that says, "Who enters
My name is Feather Widget.
Why is it that you felt compelled to answer that?
You could be friendly.
We're a dynamic duo!
And then in reply, you hear that my servants will consume you.
Starting to,
And then
like,
immediately
more
two,
these
two like
I'm
goblins.
very tall! You can't see me, so you don't know!
So two goblins that look just like that.
Oh, I speak Goblin, I think.
Start walking towards you, but they don't seem like your other friendly. Because you guys have goblins or no gnomes in your party. So yeah, they don't seem like your normal.
That's racist!
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
Forgotten Realms is very racist.
But you don't. They're kind of walking with a very strange gait. They're kind of like pulling their weapons behind them, and their eyes are kind of like glassy and like looking forward.
I take out my
They're maybe about 20 feet. So what you can see is at the end of now that the rocks are gone, the end of the tunnel kind of ends maybe about 10 feet ahead, and then there's kind of this like this. It opens into something.
It's a javelin on them.
Pardon me.
A javelin. A javelin.
There was a javelin.
Yes.
All right, let's all roll initiative here.
That'd be
We
funny
all have
also.
to roll for
Yeah,
initiative.
that's
Because he started the attack, so he starts top.
Woo!
20. Yeah, I got an 18 too. Or plus 2, 21.
Wait, what's the modifier?
just
Your
And
initiative.
it'll be your initiative.
You have
Yeah.
Pencil.
It's listed on your app.
Good.
It's usually dexterity, right?
It's right next to
Oh,
yours.
thank
It's
you.
got, like top line and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
On the right.
Oh, go to.
Oh, I see. Let me see. Oh,
Yeah.
19 for me.
Oh, there you go.
You're plus
Wait, can I pee before we start fighting?
Yeah.
I got 15.
Yeah, I got a big ol' 8.
I got 8 too.
I guess I go.
How do you?
No, I go first. I'm launching the javelin.
How do you get
It
initiative
goes
for?
lower to higher.
So the creatures have an
Or higher to
initiative
lower.
bonus as well.
Where does it say though?
If you have the actual monster thing, it should have an initiative. If not, it's equal to their dexterity.
Okay, so they have a lot. Okay.
Yeah, most of the time they'll give you an initiative, but initiative is based on attacks.
Yeah, I know. I was looking for that, but I just couldn't.
There, yes.
All right, so that's something. And then what was your guys' ones?
8.
8.
15.
Let's.
We're gonna go ahead and call Alicia's a 3.
I heard you say 8.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think she said 3 too.
I mean, I heard 3. That's 2 against 1.
What?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
That seems legit. Yeah.
I definitely think you should steal that die from her.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
I treated dice or die with the kale because my first one was too loaded. So
Sometimes you're just a little too loaded, I guess.
I mean, who doesn't want to get a little too loaded? That's what my Oma always says. She's like, I'm going to get loaded.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I've also been frustrated by my extreme skills and capabilities and like
No,
proficiency and just like better at you guys. At
I
this
feel
game.
like it's just that you are literally just better at this game than the rest of us.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, there's no luck involved at all.
Game God.
Yeah, fucking Jesus is not on your side right now.
Okay.
Rolling all
So
the results for her.
you
Launch a javelin, yeah.
roll me a javelin throw.
Who are we fighting?
There's
Two goblins.
2
Just
goblins.
like the ones that are, like,
zombie
kind of
goblins.
satisfying.
Yeah.
Goblins,
Yeah.
yes. Attack. The javelin is +6.
Wait, is it too late
What's
to do
your,
perception?
AC?
Question: can you do
AC?
perception during the fight?
Yes.
Is it kind of an action or?
It generally counts as your bonus.
My AC 15.
Oh no! I mean, what's your
Take one,
attack
like, primary
roll?
action,
+6
and then
to
one
hit.
bonus action.
Wait, but
Okay.
Wait, wait,
then
that's
it's
where
26 plus
are certain things you can only
So you got
do as
20
primary.
Oh,
oh, you haven't rolled yet. Oh, go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll.
primary until you get
So
there's
that's
skills that
+6,
allow you to
16.
attack as a bonus.
That hits.
So your bonus,
Oh.
is like,
And
I'm
one
going
d6.
to I'm going to take out a weapon, or I'm going to
So
do
3
some
plus
sort
4,
of check
7.
above both.
Okay, so what happens
7.
from the
Yeah.
7?
Okay,
Colors
so
make
you
it.
throw one of your spears.
Javelin, please.
Javelin. Spears are a whole different.
So you throw a javelin at one of like the kind of the like walking forms, one of the walking goblins. It goes like right through its center of its chest, and it just like rocks back and like leans on the javelin. It kind of tripods up and it's dead.
How far is the other?
The other one is still kind of approaching slowly.
It's my turn, right?
Yeah.
I take my great axe. And I just walk up to it and I take a huge swing.
At the next one?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me attack. You miss.
How did I hit that one?
Not the same thing.
Oh.
You missed. Or actually, yeah. Okay. So you swung the sword at him?
Great axe.
I made my-
Yeah.
19.
So it just kind of slides out of the way.
You rolled a 3.
Great axe goes beside.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we all voted on what.
I rolled the 19 before I went to the boss
That's-
game.
that's-
Never mind, that's you.
Oh,
No,
you're
she was
fine.
a 21.
Oh,
That should be you.
okay.
Yeah, so you should.
I can be a 3 also.
No, so you should be
Yeah,
next
exactly.
unless the thing changes.
I don't really know what I'm gonna do though, so.
Her color spread. I don't know what that
You can
does,
just
but-
run.
Yeah,
Run away.
I'm concerned about this components thing. I don't know
You have a
whether
you
I
have
have
a
a components pouch,
you have a
right?
components pouch which
But I don't know what
generally
is in there.
no,
Everything that
basically all the things that are there are covered in your components.
I can just trust that I like
Yes.
refill
Yeah,
it.
that's the point of the components pouch is that you have all the minor things here, unless they have like a gold cost specifically to them.
Okay.
Then you should have.
Okay. Wait, but if I do this color spray, I can only do this like once per session, right?
Oh, once per day.
So
What's
you
a
look
day?
like you have not actually equipped
It's
any of your
a day inside the game.
Have them in your inventory.
So at the beginning of the game, you choose which
So
spell you can
Oh, yeah,
cast
right.
and how
Yeah.
many. And
When do we reset the days? You tell us when the day
Yes,
is
this
passed?
is night,
on the
so
things
that
that you
means
want to equip.
after
So
we
you
did
can-
that, we've done that, and then we sleep for the night.
and then that will
Oh,
add
At the,
perfect.
at the beginning of the morning,
as
you can
things
say,
you-
"Oh, I'm going to change my
Okay.
nails or not."
Am I next in the order?
Everything that's
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a d10. Is that this one?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast color spray. A
Okay.
dazzling array of flashing colored light springs from your hand. Roll 60-10. Total is how many hit points of creatures this spell can affect.
Oh, okay.
Creatures in a 15-foot cone originating from you are affected in ascending order of their current hit points, ignoring unconscious creatures and creatures that can't see. Starting with the creature that has the lowest current hit points, each creature affected by the spell is blinded until the spell ends. Subtract each creature's hit points from the total before moving on to the creature with the next lowest hit point.
But she's at contact. So
A
that means she's
creature's
going to be
hit
in the-
points must be equal to or less than the remaining total for that creature to be affected. Am I gonna kill you?
No, you're gonna blind her.
Well, I'm a dumbass, so I'm gonna go for it because I don't know my own strength. That's my
So-
thing. Is I want to be so buff and cool.
Kinda
you
show off.
roll 60-10.
Okay. I didn't.
What's
I read.
is it a spell save?
Yeah, it's a level 1 spell, so it's one of my spells.
Yeah, but
But
what
does
I-
it say? Do they get a save against it? It should say at the end whether they get to.
Oh, all higher levels, it continues on to the next thing. When you cast a spell using this spell slot at second level or higher, roll an additional 2d10 for each slot level above first. But
So it sounds like they don't get a save.
it doesn't seem.
Oh, yeah. Can I look?
Is
Yeah,
it
go for
guaranteed
it.
hit? Or is it you have to roll ace? You have to roll.
Well, so what it would be is like, so she rolls and
This is
they
which one?
roll,
Color
Uh-huh.
and
yeah.
the total number that they roll would be the number of hit points that you could affect. And so, say you rolled 60-10 and you only rolled a 6, and the creature had
Oh, yeah.
30 hit points, then
Yeah.
it doesn't do anything. But if you roll enough that it covers that creature's hit points, starting with the lowest and then going up, then it can affect up to that number of hit points worth of stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so, assuming that creature has less hit points than fidget something, weather widget, then it would start with that, and then if they roll enough that they can cover both of their hit points, it would affect both of them, but it affects the lowest first.
Okay.
Okay, don't
So
That's
you
a lot. You
You
probably.
seem like you understood it better than me. I'm just gonna go ahead and roll 6 times,
Yep.
and then you guys
And then
kind
add
of.
the total hit.
Okay, 1. Oh no, 7.
So, 8.
8. 0.
Right, you're rolling a d10 then.
That's a 10.
Is it not a D10?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a D10.
Wait, how many?
You're
1,
18.
7,
6
0.
times.
You're 18.
8.
Is that 26?
Ooh, that fell on the floor, so I'm gonna roll again. That's my incompetence. 7.
So
28.
26, 34.
Okay.
And one more.
Really? Oh, I thought that was it.
Or was that it?
I think she got both.
Yeah, you
That's
got
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
either way, I think you've already covered both of them, so
Yeah.
that means that both of them are blinded.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I don't like you now.
No, I'm trying my best.
So
I just really want to prove
it's disadvantage
myself.
now, right?
I believe, can I see the...
I think it's because.
What happened? You
I just
used an
don't have that
ability
one by me.
So she used a spell that blinds things, but when you cast it, it's casted in like,
It's like
a
an
cone
area
in
thing.
front of you,
Yeah.
and it caught whoever was there, and since she was in melee.
Okay.
Okay, so that's your barbarian.
Oh, it's actually in the Dungeon Master.
Just
Guide,
one round though, so.
so you have that last.
I'll just do.
Yeah, just look at the thing. Big blinding.
What section?
The
Mm.
spell
Lightning?
or
Well.
the...
Oh, so it's going to lost the district DAC or
I'm just googling it. It's almost faster. A blinding creature can't see automatically
Yeah, blinded into the spell.
and fails any check that requires sight. Attack rolls against this creature have advantage.
Oh, attack rolls have advantage. Okay.
How much advantage
So
do we have?
while it's blinded, someone should attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that also
That's
means
the goal,
her attacks
yeah.
have this, or
They have
attacks
advantage
against her
me.
have advantage.
And
as
it's
well.
your turn, Eric.
I would like to attack the thingy.
Okay.
Wait,
While
wait,
it's
can I use my
blinded.
like minor action or whatever?
Bonus action?
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll perception to see whether they're like undead or whether they're like some spell is taken over them?
Roll I don't know if you can roll
Or like
perception for.
investigation.
So it depends. Those would be different checks. Which would
Yeah.
you like to check?
I want to check. Actually, it might be like some kind of magic check or like arcana or something to see if like something. I feel like it's more like that.
Can you do a
like,
check as a
possess
bonus
them.
action?
So
I
you
guess
can
so,
do it.
yeah.
You can do a check as a bonus action.
Yeah.
Most of the time, there's some
Wait,
circumstances
okay.
where, like, if you're investigating something in particular, that might take your whole action.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do an
Right.
arcana check and
Mhm.
see if something is like possessing them to be zombie-ish. Oh, wait, that's not a D10.
We're going to kill them anyway, so.
Oh fuck, that's very bad. 11.
You don't. You reach out with your senses. You feel there's some sort of control on this being, but you don't know whether it's reanimation or whether it's something that's like taking over something living.
Okay, but I can tell that there's something outside of them.
There's something outside of them that's puppeteering it.
Okay.
There's a guy who was to do this,
Okay,
so.
since we still don't know, I'm just gonna try and kill it.
Okay.
I find like a big boulder to hide behind and then I shoot an arrow at it.
Yeah.
So you covered.
Yeah.
All right. Roll attack. So it's a D20. Is that? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a 20. Oh.
15 plus. What's the modifier
It'll
thing?
tell you, it'll be
Attack
it'll
modifier.
say,
Your arrow.
so to hit.
So plus 5. 21.
Does indeed.
Alright, so now you get to roll the damage.
Alright,
So
roll
now it should be
1d8 plus 3.
1d8 plus 3. So
This?
8 we have.
Aww. Or
So you shoot an arrow. It is still kind of maintaining this slow pace forward. The arrow hits its shoulder, and you hear it kind of just like, and then it keeps walking.
God damn it.
Okay, I'm attacking.
Wait, where's my turn?
Well,
Good.
you guys don't go yet. It's old
Oh,
Mr.
it's
Mummy's turn.
its turn. Okay.
Yeah, I love
Were
the
there 2 of
enthusiasm.
them?
He killed
No,
one.
just one.
killed one.
One died.
He killed one.
He killed one with the initial javelin.
Bring it on,
wonderful.
buddy. Bring it on. So the one
Um,
that
there.
Ava just hit with her arrow.
Yeah.
In the shoulder.
Okay.
So because it still is blinded, and you could have rolled advantage, but you hit anyways. It's going to attack the person closest to it, and it's going to be swinging. So I'm going to give it disadvantage because it is blinded, but I think it can still attack.
Doesn't it have advantage on?
It has
So
advantage on, but I'm just going to do normal
so,
then.
Yeah, so advantage, because they're both blinded. It's advantage
I
and
don't know.
disadvantage. So it equals out to just
Where
can't
are
say that.
you?
Yeah. So I'm just going to do a normal attack roll. Where's my? Does a 15 hit? Mm.
I know. And rip the
We'll see.
What?
You're in a rage. You're in a rage though, right?
No, I'm not.
I think you have to take damage on a round before you can.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I didn't start.
Oh, that's like an actual thing?
Yeah, so like barbarians, their whole
Okay.
thing is they go into a rage and they do more damage and their like armor goes.
I think only
5?
5.
Is that a lot?
Took
It's
5
a third
damage.
of my life. It's a third of my life.
Yikes! You guys want to make it too?
Remember that one
Okay.
damage you did to me? That's gonna come back to bite me in the ass.
I just hate nerds.
So-
Overcompensating.
You're a
The-
huge
the,
hypocrite.
the giant bookworm over here.
Exactly. I'm just like, I'm trying so hard to be a big
So you're
jock.
like bookworm and book thief, and I'm the one who's the nerd.
Okay, now it is you, sir.
Alright, so
Twitchly twitches.
So I agree that this vantage point behind the boulder is a fantastic idea. And I will also go huddle up next to and hide behind this boulder.
I'm still just like feeling the wall.
Roll for damage.
And so,
I
but
shove you out into the
there is an ally of mine within 5 feet. So that means I get sneak attack on this thing.
Okay.
So I will take a short bow shot from behind it, and hope and that's it. And
Even
despite
with the
my
advantage?
clearly superior dark vision to everybody else, I get a little nervous. As she elbows me in the nose, I go wide left because I get elbowed. I gracefully say I'll get them next time, but I clearly am scowling in this direction.
So it
Wait, where
hears
am I here?
it hears the whistling arrow, and it starts to turn towards where you all are at.
Can you kind of describe the scene for us, like where
Yeah.
each of us are relative to this
Um,
zombie goblin?
I could get a thing out, but I'll just draw it on this. This is simple.
Yeah.
So it has started to find us behind the boulder.
And it started, despite its blindness, it has heard.
We're going to
that
finish
my
him
arrow
soon.
has missed it because
Yeah.
somebody
It's
was
okay.
blind and elbowed me in the nose.
He's
We're
a
going to
nerd.
finish him soon.
Yeah, I think it's
Next
fine.
big
How? I'm a nerd!
It's my turn
Your
now.
turn.
I run underground gambling rings for nobles in the city, but
Okay,
I'm the
That's not
nerd.
gonna hit. Yeah.
Just
Alright.
by
Swing
the
with my
numbers.
maul. So I'm on contact now.
So you made a swing. You missed.
I miss. Oh no.
What's happened?
I don't
Now
aim to miss.
the top is you.
Okay, so I'm still blinded.
Yeah, but you can still attack.
I'm still gonna.
How
All
close
right.
are we to her?
Roll straight.
You're
You
not
both are
close.
at disadvantage. She'll be fine.
You're away.
Okay, so she swings and she misses. We're not gonna get.
No, you're behind the boulder.
Just
Am I?
hit.
I am.
Just
You were attacking
connect.
from. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you were
So-
attacking from a long distance, you know, with your code.
Okay.
So you're not.
One take
Contact.
12 plus 3. Okay.
Yep.
14.
So you take an enormous swing from your axe. How do you want to do this?
I want to blindly try to hit him in his gut and accidentally decapitate him and then look down in horror.
Oh,
You can't
no,
see.
what have I done?
Well,
Yeah.
later I'll realize.
Did I do it, guys? Did I do it?
So
Like, I hope I didn't name him.
I hope I didn't hurt anybody. So Feather Widget, you know, blood streaming from her shoulder from the attack the thing took on her, just takes a wild swing, letting her lesser impulses get the better of her. Goes for the stomach to try to make a clean death, but its head flies up to the ceiling, and then just like lands on the ground with a splat, which alerts her to the horrible, heinous act that she says. You okay? And you guys are out of combat. So you are standing at. Some of you, I think, are still back in the little tunnel.
Yeah.
Whereas you, I think, are in this larger room. So you kind of see there are what looks like kind of roots growing from the ceiling down. It's like, maybe 30, 40 feet up. Kind of stone walls. And then right in front of you, there's kind of this ornate door with a kind of very, very intricate stonework that goes into an arch
Any writing
further
around there?
down.
Check it out.
It seems to be just kind of floral patterns. And the room, it looks like there was what looks like a goblin camp there. So they have some kind of like a little bit of supplies and like kind of like a fire. But like the fire looks like it had gone out like months ago. And like all the supplies seem untouched, just covered in dust.
Remembering that there was that. The friends? Kill your minions!
Yes, taunting them. Wait, no.
I like to live honestly.
And you hear this voice come back and it says, "These were the least of my servants."
Can I inspect the corpses?
Yeah.
I'm got a 4.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's dead. I'm not sure.
They're guaranteed dead.
So, I'm not sure. I'm using my maul to crush him.
Yeah, so you just mutilate the corpse, and thankfully she's still blinded. So
Don't tell
what's that squishing noise?
I wasn't sure he was dead.
So yes, it is definitely dead now. And yeah, so Feather Widget.
Swiped it with
butterfly.
the great axe.
So you feel like this room is kind of a little bit further out, and there's nothing kind of actively coming towards you out of that door, so you probably can take a short rest here. I know it's getting late. You guys want to keep going? You want to take a breather? I know we.
It looks like we're cracking open more beers.
All right, well, let's get some more beer. Let's keep going. We can do. We can finish the.
I got nowhere.
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday
You don't
night.
have to work tomorrow.
I couldn't stop if you
What a
guys
good
wanted to keep
bottle
going
of
because I
beer.
was
This
very
is
sick. But I
Glad
will
it's
take
strong for the good
a
stuff.
30-second pee and more beer.
I will take a bathroom and a beer break as well.
All right, bathroom and beer break, and then we will continue in this weird door
Yeah,
cavern
I'm
thing.
gonna
Did
bathroom
we
after
find
you
out
guys
anything
bathroom.
else additional about these zombies?
So all we know is that
They're dead.
Miss Fidget Tits over here started taunting the guy.
Hey,
And
Were you here
he's
for
like,
my Arcana check?
it's a family name.
Yeah,
this
you
is
were.
the least of my minions.
And then there's like there's this like floral decorated door at the end of the
It's
like
a
family
floral
door.
decoration.
Some like mysterious door.
Okay.
This
You
is
picture-
super fun.
I have any more fun than I expected.
It's fun,
Really?
right?
I expected it to be fun.
No, that's exactly
what
what
I
I think
expected.
it'd be fun. It seems that it's easy to be good at it in terms of like if you like engage.
Oh yeah, I mean you can do whatever. If you don't want to do that much, you can.
Right.
But you can be like, I want to freaking throw a fireball at it.
Yeah.
Like, I've gotten this into like serious trouble in the past by like running my mouth off though. We had this like merchant guy and I basically told him to go fuck himself. And, like, it ruined like a whole campaign. Do you remember that? When I was talking to Shotwell and I was like, fuck you. And everybody was like, oh.
And Chase is like flipping through his like
There's a
DM.
door on my arm and I was mad. Fuck you. And he was like, I'm not doing business with you. And that was like the whole thing within the
Oh
I
no.
was telling them about when I told that guy to go fuck himself.
Yeah. And by that guy, you mean Chase. Shotwell.
Yeah, it was Shotwell.
Yeah.
Talon Shotwell is shit.
He closed my arm at the door. Or somebody
No,
else.
no, you tried to sneak into a conversation you were not invited to, got your hands smashed in the door, and then got angry.
There's a long and joyous history of like heated bouts between Chase and Fox.
So like this
Just like yeah.
So like this campaign we're
In
running
character.
from like their like books. So I wrote an entire campaign of like just my own.
What?
Which was really good.
And so and we're kind of like still halfway through it. But yeah, we went to go investigate. This guy has like this mining operation, and so Sariel Moonbrook, who's
I was
this
kind of
like
a ditzy druid.
this like ditzy druid, tries to like, oh, they're talking about something secret. I'm gonna go sneak into there. And then I had her roll to see if she like basically could hold the door open and listen. She rolled like a 4. And so the result was, oh, you got your finger smashed in the door. And at this point we had had a drink or two.
Yeah, that was a
And
problem.
so
yeah.
it wasn't like, oh shit, I guess I don't get to listen. It was like legit anger at me. I was like, well, shit, I guess this just got violence. And then like, she didn't believe us either, but we had it on fucking video, and we couldn't actually watch it.
We watched it multiple times.
We watched it multiple times to remember.
Oh no.
That's the joy of like the Twitch stream is
Yeah.
you can capture the life.
Like actually like for like the month before we started playing, I just bought like a moleskin notebook and just wrote out like pages and pages and pages of the story. So
That's a
there's a
fun
bunch
one.
of like stuff
That's really
they just
fun.
haven't got to yet. That I'm just like, I'm just gonna see if they ever figure out where this is. And so it's actually
That's
really
fun.
fun to write
That's
this kind of
awesome.
stuff.
Yeah, it was a
I miss Sariel.
We'll make a return
She's
to
a
it at some
dub.
point. I was just
I was telling Chase like this is like enormously long or can
Yeah.
be so like probably if you guys are like hey let's take a little break from this one and do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Feather Widget.
yeah, Featherwidge is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, I love the fact that none of us remember what her name is. Just making some combination of
Fidget
fidgets
spinner.
and tits.
Hey, fidget spinner tits.
I didn't even anticipate that. That's like my favorite part about her.
Tit Fidget.
Oh, tit fidget's a good one.
Fidget? Okay, changing the name again. Fidget?
Man.
Did we change her name?
Oh no, we're just gonna call her by her names every time.
I'm gonna call her Fidget Spinner. It sounds like very naturally to me.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Titty
Fidget.
Spinner.
Titty Spinner.
Fidget spinner, yeah. I mean, it seems like the natural like course of where that's gonna go.
That's just the theme. The whole rest of the campaign is none of us know what her name is. Everyone just calls her something different.
Steve, I
Fidget Giblet.
Sniffler Sniffler.
Oh my gosh. Good.
I think
What is
it's better
it?
you.
Sniffer?
Hey, you.
I like legitimately don't know what it's called.
Both Alicia and B-Bill have referred to a snifter as a snifter to me.
Wait, what are either of those things?
Snifter, like a brandy snifter. Always, it's like a type of glass.
That doesn't sound like a thing. That sounds like you literally just made that word up, and then you made fun of
That's
it
what-
by saying different things.
That's what you do. That's not what I do. I'm erudite. You just bullshit.
I have no idea what you're talking
I don't
about.
think erudite is a.
did I have was there a Sharpie around here?
Oh, I was like, are
You missed the first part of the
Okay, I was
joke.
like, what?
I don't do that over the book.
Drawing
Shut up,
thing
quinoa.
just never.
Yeah, but
Yeah, we have
With
quinoa
the
and pickle
Sharpie
Rick over here.
on the
Are
very
you kidding
I
me?
know.
And we're making fun of fidget titties.
Fidget.
Like,
and then literally came
Honestly, yeah. As far as names go, the three of you have opted for like very similar names. We got Pickle Rick, Twitchly Switch, and Feather Widget Picky Nips.
Close.
I
I mean,
oh,
I feel like Piggy Nips and Perky Nips are two very different
honestly,
things.
the only reason I went for quinoa instead of Zima because I was like Zima and Zugot like are like the same name. Like I would have loved to be Zima, but I just wanted to do myself a favor.
I think you should go by Z instead of K.
Oh.
And then your last name is
Even I can't keep up with that. It's a problem, though.
Oh,
Like,
man.
I'm trying to be a little bit generous here.
Yeah.
Like, we all know
Really
they and them.
transgender.
It's none of anyone's business. It's kind of my thing. It's like, does it change anyone's point of view of me if I'm a
It's
her or him? Like,
it's
none
a
of your
they.
business.
We are all
Okay.
quinoa.
Yeah, no, it's not even that. It's just like,
I'm
none
not
of your
quinoa.
business. Like, I know what I am, but like, none of your business.
It's a mystery.
Stay out of it.
Downstairs pizza.
This doesn't even matter. Like, stay out of it. Like,
Not anyone else's
Yeah.
deal.
yeah, do we have conversations about all of our genitals?
Like,
Like,
you know what my
doesn't
genitals
matter.
are. You know.
Mine's a
I
pickle.
mean, I have conversations about mine all the time.
I literally
Yeah.
just have like a large gaping hole.
That's kind of my thing. I'm so clearly overcompensating for so much else? Like, do I have to overcompensate for gender stuff also? Like I have other deficiencies besides my like whole gender thing.
Female half-orc barbarian is not going to be the most like her downstairs issues.
Yeah, so my thing was like, what does it matter?
Yeah.
So we killed some goblins.
Yeah, so the goblins are dead.
Were
We
they
found the
dead?
door.
The question is, were they dead before?
Were they dead before? Ooh, that's a good check.
Wait, are you
Yeah.
not blind anymore?
Oh yeah, can we check
I
if they were
think-
reanimated?
Blindness falls off after like a minute.
Your blindness.
So
Yeah,
right,
let's try to combat.
Yeah, she's good. You're fine.
It can be until concentration.
That was way too big of a smile, Jeffrey.
I may just kill you guys right now.
No!
So we have what?
I'm like,
Short rest though, right?
yeah. Do you guys want to heal up? Heal up.
Yeah. So during the short rest, has anyone besides me taken damage from?
I took.
Alright, so yeah, you can use hit
Take
dice.
fidgets. Good damage too.
I
So
saw it in here before. And
you just use hit dice to try to heal. I'm gonna use mine. Only down one, so the minimum I can roll is one.
I remember seeing it.
If you ever played any of the Telltale games, I will remember that.
What is Telltale game?
Oh, they're a game company that makes a bunch of like very narratively driven games,
Uh-huh.
and you have to make a bunch of decisions. Almost the entire game is just like making choices about things, and then whatever you do, the game will just tell you like this person will remember that. All of these people will remember this decision, and then it just constantly mocks you for the choices you make.
I would love to play that.
And there's like a Batman one, there's a Game of Thrones one.
They've created a Minecraft one.
They made a Minecraft one. They made a Borderlands one.
Minecraft, you lived in a block, and you moved it over to another block.
Your other block.
That other block will remember that.
Yeah.
You're searching for diamond. Again, it's very long. Again and again.
Don't worry, we'll remember that.
You have to continue searching. No? Too bad.
Minecraft is one of those games I literally never played in my entire
I
life.
killed a pig for the first time in Minecraft.
Really?
Oh,
This is last week
serious.
at work.
This
I mean,
was
it like
literally
a couple
today
months
at
ago.
work. This is how I spend No Code Fridays.
No Good Fridays. It's good.
It's no good Friday.
Oh fuck!
Every Friday is No Code Friday,
I
but yeah,
didn't
get on
know
board.
and do it.
You've been participating without even knowing it.
It just feels so natural.
Okay.
Oh no, we're all gonna die right now.
All right,
Well,
so
not because his kid
we're
was
at-
going to
we're-
review some
we're
code
at
for
this-
it, and he hasn't yet.
We're at this door. Right?
Someone wants to
Scared,
investigate the
scared.
head
I
or...
go up and just casually lean against it.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's too late, I did it.
So, I think that'd be roll me stealth because you're trying to be casual.
Oh, I'm a stealth.
Yeah, give me one of those.
Does someone has a torch or
That's a
something?
9 work for you.
Oh, no.
Okay, so,
I don't think I've rolled anything about it.
yeah, no, you better rough like last like month of rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys walk. You all walk past kind of this gnomish camp, or sorry, goblin camp. There's not much on the walls. There's kind of like bits of stuff there, and you come up to this kind of ornate door with kind of these floral patterns and this brass kind of like holding centerpiece. So kind twitchly twitch, twitchly snitch. Twitchly, snitchly,
You, sir,
snitch
are-
Olovich. Yeah, yes. Yes.
Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch over here.
Oh, yeah. So it's your new name now.
So Twitchly Switch leans on the door, and in his stealthy fashion, there's this kind of loud creaking sound, and you feel a kind of rush of just like freezing wind just wash out of the door. The other the other side of the door that you're not leaning on snaps open, and you can look down the hallway.
It's like
It snaps out, so they're like a two-directional door.
Okay.
I believe I found the entrance over here. Don't mind me, I was very casual about it though. So.
Yeah, very, very casual.
You keep making me want to punch you.
Too.
Doing more
I wanna
damage.
punch you out.
Right?
Put him down. Put him down. So
the
so
other
you
work.
you notice at the end. So there's a long hallway, and there are these torches that are stationed on each side. So they're all dead right now. But then as the wind blew past, they started flicking on with blue light. And with kind of this
Blue light.
yeah, with this blue torchlight, you're able to see a like really ornate coffin, and at the base of it is a brass chest
Ooh. Can
that
we
has like
discuss
3
in the
locks
group?
on it.
I'm crushing the
I
chest.
know, I want to open it.
I'm using my maul and
I'm
crushing
as
the
greedy as
chest.
it gets, so I'm all for opening this chest.
Well, it's at the end of this long hallway with it's maybe like a 30-foot, 40-foot long hallway.
I'm running.
I'm kind of nervous. I'm trying to
Yeah,
analyze
wait,
like
can
the
I do-
markings on the
And-
Right, that's what I'm trying to
So
do.
you analyze. So roll perception.
both of us.
Yes,
And I
since
also,
you're both looking.
I might.
Or you could roll
invest.
investigation because that seems to be a little bit.
Yeah, and if that doesn't work, I'm gonna go for a history.
You have to pick
So-
which one you're gonna do first.
No, okay, yeah, we'll do
Wait, I have
perception
to pick
first.
between-
You have to
You have to pick.
perception or investigation. I think
Okay.
both will fly.
I will do.
I'll do investigation.
This is great.
Not 20
Okay.
Fucking kidding me.
plus 5, so 25.
God.
So you
Learn all of things.
learn all the things. So you, as you're looking around, you look upwards, and then you see that those tree roots don't look like tree roots. They actually seem to be bones that are kind of sticking out from the ceiling. And as you look down the hallway, you notice. Then I lost it. Right. Well, I drew this beautiful picture. You notice.
Yeah. You're blind all of a sudden.
Your color spray backfired.
So you
No,
notice-
2 hours later.
You notice that all that ornate work goes to this beautiful symbol. It's a
Your
barbecue
bathtub.
with a thing on it. Yeah. So it's pretty much, you just notice this symbol.
Wait, where
Oh,
is
it's
the
a
symbol?
symbol.
On the ceiling?
Yeah, it's like a symbol.
On the ceiling.
How about the chest?
And it's
Can we
like-
pick up
and-
anything-
So the chest is a little too far away. It's about 40, 50 feet away.
Okay.
But
too
where
far
do we
away for you to
that on the
see.
ceiling?
So you see that right over the door. So all this like kind of ornate work comes up and it goes to this.
Like out of breath.
So can I do like a history check to see if I know what that is?
Same. I've read a lot of books.
No, me too. I got
She's
history.
read
out
Roll
of
history.
one of my
I want to
books.
do things.
Roll me history.
Can't be talking
I want
about more
to
than
Who
take
wants to roll
a big
history?
boulder and try to block the
I'm
door.
on +3 history.
So it's one
You might have beat the
close.
shit out of me.
The door to the next
Yeah,
thing?
I got some
No,
history.
the previous door.
I
no,
do
we
nothing with
used-
the store.
Behind you?
I don't
Yeah.
see
So
that.
it wasn't a door, it was like a
I'm very
passageway
bad at-
that was
I'm like,
blocked
I
in.
try to cover up my whole
Okay.
shit, but I'm actually a big
So
fat nerd.
so
No, you're better
it's the
at it.
passageway in,
Yeah,
and then this
okay.
room, and then a door
Okay.
further.
So I'm gonna do a
in.
plus history or a history check
Okay.
then.
So he was going forward. Do you want to? You
Yeah.
can block the path back.
So
but-
you know,
No.
normally
Okay, yeah.
when we get into this type of scenarios, everyone will decide like what type of check they make, and because normally it's like you don't want to do like I'm going to do this. If that fails, then do this, then do this, then do this.
Because then you're bound to do it.
But then,
Exactly.
No.
but yeah,
You
you
ask-
Everybody
you
gets
ask
that.
the-
you ask the DM and he lets you know. if
Yeah,
you can do
you
it.
tell
Should
him
we
I
do a
want to
history check?
do that, and he's going to tell you which check you use.
Can you do a history check? Yes, you can.
Oh, yikes, 6. I'm so sorry.
+3 though, right?
No, that's plus. I got a 3 plus 3.
So, if
So,
you want, you can
it's a
have
symbol.
natural 20 by taking time.
It's a symbol.
And then we
For
can
some-
do some stuff also.
What?
Mhm.
Can
I
we
haven't
all
done
do
a
a
check
history
yet.
check?
Can I also believe this. Actually, no. Can I do a religion?
Yes, that will fly.
I want to do every check.
That's a D10 though, right?
That's a 20.
20.
That's
Oh, really?
8 total.
Yeah.
I'm not a very
can I-
religious
can
man.
I do a history check
Unless
as
we're
well?
talking of the
About
church
money.
then I've got that
Can we
before
kind
you.
of
Can I
assume
try
that
history as well?
after having fought these goblins together, we have some sort of like
+2. I did
shared
10.
respect for each other?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are all kind of like.
So at this point,
Except
like
for
before
you,
we walk down the
Because
path,
you blinded.
No!
So,
she's my homie.
I pet you a little bit
She's
less
still a
often than
thief.
I have been.
I respect her prowess in battle, but I don't trust her.
Right. But before we were kind of walking
Doesn't
in
trust
the
at
general
all.
same direction, but now we're kind of accepting that we're all in this together.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, that's
yes.
accurate.
A lot of books that you tell us
It's sort of like in
I will
Harry
give you
Potter. You
exactly
can't fight a
2
troll
more
without
levels.
becoming
That
friends.
one, that
Okay.
one, exactly 2.
It's 4. Well, 4 fine.
So wait,
4 we can make work.
I got a 10 for the history check.
So you don't
learn any details, but you realize that this is a symbol that relates to fire and fire cults.
Do we?
Fire cult.
Okay, so you said there's a coffin sort of in the middle, right?
Yeah, so in the
Yeah,
very,
that's
very
super
back,
cool.
all you can see is a coffin, because this is looking like a burial.
I think there's both a coffin and a chest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and a chest at the foot of the coffin. So sort of like
So-
someone being buried with
So
their...
you're saying that there's like 40 or 50 feet we have to walk before we get there, right?
Yeah, should I draw that out? Would that be easier? I mean, it's very simple.
I mean,
yeah,
it's
it's,
basically-
yeah.
it's a
Hallway,
and
room.
then room. Yeah.
Coffin,
I'd
chest.
still- I'd still like to go and investigate.
Wait, is it a
So
dead
it's
end
fire
type of situation?
symbol.
It's a
There
fire
may be
symbol.
You
a-
can't tell. You only
There may
can
be a trap
you only can see the back wall
Hey.
How
of
many
this
checks
room.
can we
It's a-
do?
it's a
Like,
go-
how many Arcana check to see if there's like some sort of magic presence in the room? Or sorry,
I mean, you can do as many checks as you want until you're in battle. I mean-
maybe an Arcana check then to see if I can
You
sense
can
some
just
sort of magic
Can you
presence.
Yeah.
check if there's a trap on the?
That's what I was thinking is. Yeah.
So you sense down the hallway that there is something going on, but you can't tell whether it's just these torches that came to light or the innate magic in these torches, or that there's something else.
Hey, so wait, is the picture that there's like...
So
there's
you'd have to start entering the hallway.
I'd like to
So you
go
guys
down
are
the
still
hallway.
all looking. So you like to go down the hallway?
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait,
cool.
sorry.
So you start going down the.
We have
She's
this
already
hallway.
walking.
No,
She's
I
already walking.
want a picture.
Okay,
I want
okay,
a
okay.
picture of like
Yeah.
what situation we're in. So there's
Okay.
the hallway. Where's the chest in this hallway?
So it's at the, so
Shit.
there's you're in this big room with the bones coming out of the ceiling. Big
Yeah.
room, like bigger than this.
Yeah.
There's a little hallway at the back door, about 40 feet long.
Okay.
At the end of that hallway is another little small room with a coffin and a
Can
little
we see
chest.
like at the end of the hallway whether there's like some sort of other situation past that, or can we?
No, all you see is
just like those torches leading down the hallway.
just because you'd have to be in the room to see if there's any other
Right.
exits.
So there might be a dead end. There might be like more
Other
things
things.
going on. Okay.
I'll
Okay.
go down the
Cool.
You're
hallway.
walking.
Okay,
I
so
follow her because I'm very scared.
so you walk down the hallway and you do not follow. Okay. So as you pass the first rank of torches, they snuff out, and right, kind of into the hallway, a kind of figure starts to coalesce, and it's
We're gonna die like immediately.
Hello, I'm other widget.
Are you friendly?
Oh, dear. We are gonna die.
So as you approach, a voice says, "Who dares disturb us of fire?"
Same people.
Same guys.
No disturbing here, just looking around.
Just wanted to see what was in the chest right there.
Wait.
Go take a look around.
So-
Don't mind us, we're just
So
here to
do you-
steal your shit.
You don't need it. You're dead, right?
See?
So do you keep walking?
Yeah.
So the second rank of torches goes out as you get closer.
Ooh, it's very scary. What is it? We have to do
I
it.
scream.
Do
So-
half-orcs have dark
And then he starts pardon me?
Oh, I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
think
we
so.
do.
Have our
We
stuff
do?
what?
Dark vision?
dark vision?
Yeah.
How good is
I
it?
remember seeing it.
Yeah, because
So-
as these torches go out, we may not be able to see what's in front of us anymore.
Interesting.
We had a torch, no?
You have torches, right?
But they haven't been lit.
I do have 10
No one's
torches.
lit any torches
Can
yet.
I light my
Yeah, we
torches
have
using it?
torches.
Oh my
Easy.
god! I
How
asked
long?
about the torches!
How long? What's the foot
60
range?
feet.
Wait, what?
They have 60-foot dark vision.
You have 120.
I have
though.
120-foot dark vision.
Yeah.
I see things great. And then
Can we stop right here and attempt to light a torch from one of the walls?
No, because you cannot go
once
near
you,
enough. If you go near,
it seems like once you kind of cross the plane of where the torches are, they go.
Have torches.
Yeah, I
Uh,
do too.
everyone
I
has
want to light those
torches.
up if you want light.
Wait, but the torches that we passed
Can you
go
see
out?
the dark?
So we can
Yeah.
still see ahead of
I don't
us.
know. How do I know?
Yeah, so we can still see ahead, but basically
Which,
everything that's in the hallway
class are
has
you?
gone dark.
Which race
and
are
I think
you?
the like
The
last
dragonborn?
set of torches go dark, and I think the
Does
whole thing's
dragonborn
gonna be
are
darkness unless we
in the
light some
dark?
torches.
Okay, let's just wait until we get to the end of the hallway then. Cause so far
So
we
wait
can see
until
what's
we're in
front
the
of
dark
us.
before we turn the light on.
But like, as we walk down, the torches in front of us are still alight.
Yes.
So we can still see what's in front of us.
I light a torch.
So
Oh, yeah.
If we're
So you're lighting a torch.
should we feel like we
Alright,
come
she lights a
behind
torch.
us?
So
Okay.
I'm lighting a torch,
And you light a
looking at her,
torch.
and I'm lighting the torch on the sides.
So you're lighting them on the side. So you touch your lit torch to the side, nothing happens.
I just hold mine.
So it's a
Can I
different type
grab
of
the
fire.
torch from the side?
You grab the torch from the side. Roll me dexterity.
Wait, what are you doing?
No, you reach for it. Roll me dexterity.
Oh, okay.
Are you grabbing one of the torches that went out?
Yeah.
5 plus whatever is plus 2 things.
You die instantly.
Yeah. Bye, Jika.
She's the one going
You
forward.
hear a disembodied voice saying,
bye-bye.
"You done fucked up."
Roll for initiative.
Okay, so you take like a blue flame rips down your hand, and you take 3 points of fire damage.
Oof.
Okay, my own torch, thanks. That's really good.
Wait, so you tried to light it on the side of thing.
He tried
and
to
then
grab.
He tried to grab it. He tried to light it.
He
Nothing
tried
happened.
grab one and he got burned.
Alright, so I'll just keep holding down, I guess.
Okay.
You have a normal torch.
Yeah,
And I just cut my...
I have a number of torch too. Because I was
So you're still
Can
walking.
I actually throw my torch down towards the west?
Yes. Do you want to throw it into the room or just to the into the hallway?
If I
Okay.
can make that far.
Roll me a. I think what would be the good. That'll be probably
Rose is
just dex or
Uh,
athletics. Oh, that's probably athletics.
Maybe strength?
It's probably athletic.
Yeah. Okay. So you throw it. It kind of clips the side of the door and like spins and lands in the room, like half in and half out. But you notice from the coffin, and it's like laying, like it's kind of like a dais almost. You notice like a flicker of like motion from the coffin.
Fight the dead in the coffin.
Hello?
But it goes. But you also see that sword passes through this spectral figure. So the figure is still standing there as you're approaching. The kind of the
Has he moved at all, or is he just...
he's standing there. So so it went through him at this point, and then it went through him, landed halfway into the room, and then something in the room flickered once the Yeah, you just saw a flicker of movement. You don't know what it was, but it was something concrete. It was not something spectral.
So
There's not something spectral.
Okay, there's a specter in the hallway thing, and there's like a.
So as we get up towards the edge of this, I've slowly been not like I'm obviously not in the vanguard of this because that's a terrible idea. But I would, however,
Keep it in the back.
I'm slowly skulking behind our 2 dear half-orcs here. Can I do a check, basically traps, as we're getting closer and closer to this room? Because I feel like something drastic is going to happen when we cross the plane into this room, and I want to try to disable anything there.
So how are you going to check for traps?
So I'm just going to, I basically want to look around where all these torches are, and I want to look basically where the break is, and basically take a very fine look at
So are you going to walk all the way to the room and start looking around?
No, I'm not going to walk into the room, I'm going to walk up to the room, but not enter.
So as you start walking up to the room, the rest of the torches flicker out, and then this kind of ethereal figure gets more dense.
I did say I was staying behind.
Okay, so I guess they're all doing this with you through complicit action.
I'm behind him.
You all heard me that I did
Side-
say that, correct?
So that's not how this
Yeah.
works.
No, no, I hear you. You were.
I have a personal bodyguard.
Well,
So
you
I'm
have
on this
you-
side.
Granted. Yeah,
I'm on
I
this
mean,
side.
the light will still,
Sure.
like, it didn't go
Okay,
out.
so I'm getting up there, I'm trying to check for traps lights.
So you get closer and you get closer. The lights go out. The figure kind of solidifies and just like lands on the ground. And then he pulls out like a spectral sword. It kind of that same blue flame that you saw in the torches kind of ripples up the blade, and then he attacks those who are closest to him. So let's go ahead and roll. Roll initiative. And you guys all healed up from a short rest, right?
Yeah.
I want
I'd
to
be
try.
really-
Can I
I've been really sad that you on the first
So
game.
I rolled a nat 20 on initiative.
That's where you want it.
No, it definitely is.
Is it really?
Because I can run away. I don't have to attack him. I can get behind the
Oh
shields.
shit!
Yeah.
I rolled a 6.
Yeah,
what's
I
the
rolled a
modifier?
23.
What's the modifier?
Oh wait, I think mine is I think it's in the like if you just like scroll to the top of everything, it like
Let me
shows
get
up.
my
It's
little
a
Yellow
lot.
plus 3, yellow plus 3. Oh, mine is 3. Never mind. No, that's plus 3.
What do you
Where'd my little
What?
monster
Oh, yeah,
one
plus,
go?
you're right.
Oh well.
I think
Oh,
mine's
well.
a
Guess it's
7.
gone.
I rolled a 6, yeah.
Oof. Okay.
I got a 5.
Kind of embarrassing. Okay, so Mr. Twitch was
So I'm
23.
Isn't it in the Switch?
5.
5 big ones.
And then
Were you 6, Alicia?
big hits,
Yeah, I was 6.
Mikhail?
13.
7.
7. All right. Big rolls, guys.
And I'm going last.
Well, hopefully you got all the bad rolls out of the way, right?
Oh, sorry, 6. Sorry, 6.
Okay, 6. All right, it's the same.
Ooh.
All right.
Don't kill me.
If you ask nicely enough to the big bad guy, right?
Oh,
I
God.
think you were a little closer than me.
I was with him. I'm his bodyguard.
Hmm.
So if he's running away, I got an excuse to run away. I'm not running away, I'm protecting the guy who's
I'm
running away.
advancing in reverse.
Covering his retreat.
What does resistances entail?
So resistance means that you take half damage from whatever things you are resistant to. So if he's resistance like slashing, bludgeoning, piercing, great. Love the way that's played out.
It's out of the mid, I think. Or
If it's like spectral, then most physical.
can we have physical items right now?
Oh yeah, level 1 with like magic swords, great for 100%. Hey Lisa, remember all that time that you took of cantrips that did?
I haven't been here either. Yeah.
let's
Magic
see.
missile?
That's not a terrible option. Yeah.
I'll do it.
Grow
Those
with
are-
those out.
The great thing about magic missile is it
Right.
always hits.
Oh wait, but I already wasted my color spray, right? Because I haven't even yet.
No, so was color spray level
It
1?
was before we
or was
did
it-
level 1.
So the 2
So
barbarians
you
are out
wasted
front,
one
right?
of your level 1 spell slots. You can still cast color spray again because you have 2 spell slots and you
I
can
can do
use
the same
any
twice.
spells, but you can only use 2 level 1.
But you have to choose.
So you have to choose 4 out of the 6 that you know for the day, and then you can use your slots on any of those 4 to each.
Okay, so magic missile
It's
says
very different than
3
Field
glowing
of
darts
Fire.
of magical
Field of Fire,
force.
you will have every one of
Each
them.
dart hits a
It's
creature
very
for choice
And you
within
would
7
have, like,
range.
skills that
So then
would
is
allow
it-
you to
Is
switch.
this helpful?
Like, oh, you can
Oh
switch
my
one.
God.
Like
Right,
this,
that's what I'm
with
saying.
another
Can I
one.
So
have
basically,
all 3
this
of those
is you have a
in
spell
one?
book with all of your spells,
Yeah.
and then every day you prepare
Okay,
a
you can start
subset
with
of those spells, and then you have spell
good.
slots, which are basically you can use those spell slots to cast any of the ones that you prepared that day.
Okay. But not that different from the other one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the only difference is like you have like first level spell slots and second level spell slots,
Yeah.
and you can use first level spells using second level slots, but not the other
Are
way.
we dead?
You guys are so screwed. All right. Anyways, okay. So
Don't run away.
you're first.
I'm going to advance in reverse and hide myself. So I'm going to use my movement to back in behind where only if it's already in melee range. And so if I'm moving first, it's probably and so
Because you guys are the ones that are close enough to. Right.
Just the one.
Mm, you. I think it was set out that even though he was advancing, you guys were advancing in front of him. Okay.
I'll look at it.
Wait, wait. It could be Mikhail.
At the end, you would go to the end of the.
Well, that's
Either way,
being
the
a
first
barbarian.
thing I'm doing on my
Remember,
turn
you're a
is knocking
barbarian.
out
You're not a
so-
druid. You're not a
Yeah.
druid
I
anymore.
only have 15 hit points though, so.
I know.
Well,
You
have
healed.
15. I have
You
7.
healed.
total.
She
Oh,
has
okay, okay.
6. And like you have double what we have.
Seems very low.
You guys will be fine.
Yeah,
You guys-
1d12 damage.
All right, come on.
So I'm going to use my movement to get behind Zuga, and then I'm going to. No one else is within 5 feet yet, so I'm going to take a short bow shot. And see what
Cool.
happens. Does a 21 hit?
Yes.
All right. So how much
It does negative damage. He gains 5 HP.
But because it's a spectre,
7 points
only
of
half
damage.
of it.
7. Okay. So you take a shot at it. The arrow kind of like flickers through it, and you see it pull back. Now that it's more coalesced, you see it kind of pull back as the arrow goes through it. Unlike when the torch went through it. Oh yeah, now the camera's dead. I'll switch it out.
Do I get the feeling that it was a solid hit, or do I get the feeling like it didn't do what I was quite expecting?
Like you see some kind of like blue light just kind of like shimmering out from the wound, but the arrow flies into the back room, smacks against the wall, and nothing moves.
Oh, guys, that's great.
Okay,
Who's next?
Who's up?
so you did okay.
I did some amount of damage.
Yay.
All right, here, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna do this little battery switcheroo real quick.
Said we're fucked, so I feel like I should use my dragon breath.
Yeah,
I'm
but
definitely
but
going to
this is
story.
why I'm so excited for my move.
Now's the time to pull out them stops, y'all.
It's like a cult of fire thing. Actually,
But there's definitely something in that room
Yeah.
also, so like that's why I've been
I have
trying
a
to
card
not
in my
use it.
sleeve.
I know. I'm all for cards and stuff.
Maybe
I'm going into a
if
rage
Jeff
on
is
my
nice
turn.
to me, then this card will be a card.
Okay. So it does. So now it is on. Who rolled the 13? I think that was
Me.
you.
Okay, so I'm using my 2 axes when it attack.
Are you,
You're doing a melee.
Yeah.
so
How
you
far am I?
You walked ahead of him as he went right up to the room,
I
so
was
you're
on this
pretty much
side.
right next to it.
So I'm.
and I
so-
moved behind you on my turn.
So if the room has to be almost a foot or 2 in front of you like that, and you see that there's like, that similar kind of like ornate like stone door around that kind of like the smaller room. But yeah, like the specter's right there. You guys keep walking.
Okay, so one hand axe in one and attacking. The first hand. 19 plus 6.
That hits.
Okay, 1 is 4. That's 5 plus 4, 9.
Hmm.
The other one. It's 10 plus 6, 16.
Okay.
Doesn't
So
hit.
so your first was your damage was 9, you said?
Yes.
And does 16.
Yes.
Okay. 1 to 6.
Okay. Hooray. All right. So you take 2 kind of big swings, and you see like kind of the spectral form kind of blur as you take your first hit. Kind of this blue like light that kind of looks very similar to the torch flame kind of starts emanating from what seems like kind of like a spectral wound. You take another swing. It ducks out of the way, but you do kind of graze its arm a little bit, but it's not going to do as much damage, obviously. So this thing, like kind of lets its arms go back, is not very happy, and it shouts, "We are awakening!" As it
Minions!
Well, it's not us, right?
A bunch of one-eyed yellow little munchkins. Like
Why are they gonna be yellow?
the minions.
No.
it's going to attack.
I think we should concentrate on the bad guy. One.
Isn't he the big one?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I like
yeah, yeah.
concentrating the good guys myself.
I'm gonna attack April. I'm gonna attack Pickle Dick.
Pickle Rick.
Pickle Dick.
Okay.
Pickle Dick.
That is
I
a
heard
21
Pickle Rick.
hits.
Pickle Dick.
Sorry?
It's a 21 hits.
Barely.
Shit.
Wait, on
Guys, look how far we are in the book.
I know.
Oh,
Well, that's a monster book.
but yeah, we are in fact dead. Like, this was a one-shot game over.
So
after
we
tonight.
should be level 10 by then.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, but I love quinoa though.
Hey, you can attach real quick,
You
don't you?
can just trade please.
So,
Go ahead.
What happens? What happens?
How many? How much?
So you take
Oh.
10 points of cutting damage. sorry, 8 points of slashing damage, 2 points of flame damage.
Okay. I have 2 HP now.
Why didn't I roll better initiative?
Yeah.
I could have done something.
I'm not feeling well, guys.
Does anyone take any healing
So-
spells by chance?
Literally, I don't think we have a single healer. Right now.
No. We have like 5 nerds and 2 like muscle people.
Okay.
The only person who will ever have healing spells is you.
I don't have anything
And they're
right
like the
now.
weaker healing spells because you're a ranger. You fucked up, guys. You
Okay.
fucked up real bad.
Would a wizard have healing?
All right.
Oh.
Clerics,
I think it's a druid.
clerics and druids do.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was a hard hit.
Oh dear.
So,
It's not great. It's not great for
You're
us.
gonna run away. Let me go.
so
I'm
it is
reconsidering my
now who hit the 2 6s? It's your two's
I had
turn.
6.
So you both had 6s in initiative,
Yeah,
right?
so you
So-
launch
Let me go,
again.
let me go.
So you guys each roll
Okay,
out. and see
so
what-
next time we have
Let me
something,
roll to see
you
who
roll
goes
again D20 and whoever has the best is
Yeah.
the one.
So you guys both roll
11 for me.
20.
20.
All right. So, oh wait, was that another initiative? Oh, okay, I see.
Because they both had, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I had 20 earlier.
How did we not realize we didn't have a healer until just now?
That's how you realize you didn't have a healer. That's how you realize it.
I didn't think about it.
Can I talk to it still instead of fighting it?
No.
You
I
can
think we're pretty deep in the
try.
game right now.
Is it too late?
I won't stop you. You can talk if you want.
You can
Can I ask
certainly
it like, who are you and what do you want?
you can ask it as a bonus
I was so attack. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Like,
as
I'm
I'm
trying
blowing
to
my
be
dragon.
You can do your
Who are you? What do you want?
you can do your bonus action first. We'll say.
So
Okay.
if you're like token, it's time to use that vortex.
That's true. Yeah, those of you who have advantage tokens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
2 of them.
Okay, so I can talk to it first.
Yes.
as like-
Yeah. So you can talk, and then if you want to
Okay,
attack,
I
you
would
can
like to
attack.
ask it who it is, what it wants.
It
Do I need to roll
Ye-
or?
no, it understands you. It looks at you and it says, "You're the servants of fire," and it says, "We will be rising in the valley. You're the first," and that's all it says.
Did we walk through a valley to get to?
I believe it wasn't the Shadow of Death. But I'm not positive.
I don't know if it's a joke or not. I wasn't paying close attention.
Hey, do not fear, alright? You got Feather Wizard with you.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what that goes.
Yeah.
Okay. So wait, so then she still has an
So-
action? So I still have an action, right? I asked it some stuff and I didn't get a very satisfactory
Is it a side action or just a action?
That was a bonus action.
as bonus
Yeah.
action, yeah.
So you
So
can.
I'm gonna use my dragon breath.
Okay.
Yeah.
Holla, 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 holla.
Fire on fire, people?
Please hit it.
It's like lightning.
It's lightning because
Oh,
you do
okay.
It's blue.
And
which
you're
I think
doing
is a good
it, and it's
sign,
always in a
given that
line,
they're-
right?
Well,
I
I don't know.
believe-
I don't know if
I
like,
Is everybody
it's
out of the
blue,
way?
Right?
I think it's good. Well, she has her movement too. Move herself.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't
Maybe
even
move.
the way this works.
Because you're further back.
is-
Because
I'm
Mikhail's
like
up front.
behind Mikhail.
Yeah.
I'm behind.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you
So
circled all
you're
the
in
way
the
back.
same
I thought.
place?
I circled back behind my personal.
Oh, you're
So my
Then,
breath
yeah.
weapon.
It's just behind Mikhail.
No.
Mhm.
When I use my breath weapon, each creature in the area of the exhalation must make a saving throw,
Yeah.
type of which is determined by my draconic. The DC for this saving throw equals 8 plus your Constitution modifier plus your proficiency.
8 plus 2 plus whatever.
A creature takes 2d6 damage, failed save, and half as much damage on a successful. I know some of those words.
That makes
Okay.
sense. That makes sense. So
2d10, it said.
so
2d6.
2d6 if they fail
Fail
to
to
save,
save,
and 1d6 make a save.
And what kind of dragon?
I'm
Fire, water,
blue.
lightning.
Lightning.
Okay.
That's good.
So you may want to position yourself. Let's just assume you position yourself in a way that
So
won't
you're
harm.
gonna, you move around so you don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you
okay.
kind of edge to the side. The hallway's wide enough. Mikhail's still pretty up close to it. but you're able to get to the side and kind of get a straight line bead on the guy. And then I need to make a con saving. Or what's my saving throw that I need to make? Dex.
For sure, Ghost is not.
So I got like a
much safer.
17.
Ooh. Or is that your dex or is that your save?
So my saving throw I got 15. And
Okay,
Dex
so
plus
that's
2.
two.
Oh no.
So that means it's going to take 1d6 instead.
Yeah.
So
So
you
Yeah.
roll one.
so you shoot
Make
a
it
bar
once.
of flame.
I do what?
And
Yeah.
so you shoot out like a bar. You shoot your dragon breath at him, and then
So
that
roll
you
your
roll
damage.
that, and that'll be how much damage.
Goodness.
Wait.
Up.
Oh, Jeffrey. Please don't kill us. We just started.
Every session creating
Okay.
character, getting me dead. And then
So
we
I'll
can
have
come
dice.
back.
All right. So roll both. Roll
Roll
both
what?
dice.
Huh?
2d6.
Roll 2d6.
Oh,
And then
that's
tell me the
like
first
three
and then them
times?
both.
I don't know.
Oh, because there's the minions
Awesome.
that we can see that are behind.
I have a 6 and a 2.
So 8 total.
So the main one is the first one is the 2,
So-
and the second one is the 6.
The main is the 2. Okay. What did you roll for? Roll. Yeah.
Oh,
roll,
separately?
roll
Okay.
sequentially. Roll 1.
I'll roll the first one. This is my main one.
Yeah, that's your main one.
3.
Okay, 3.
And the second one.
3. Okay, so pretty similar. All right. Okay. So a bar of lightning ripples across the thing. It kind of you see it. Yeah, exactly. just like this actually. So you see, this thing like take a swing back. Sword still flaming, but it kind of takes a hit. Some more of this kind of like ephemeral flame kind of comes off his body. The bar of light or the bar of lightning continues past, and you see as it strikes kind of the back wall right near the coffin. You see another flicker of movement, and that's it.
You damaged?
So the Spectre still is looking not too bad. He still feels pretty good right now.
I'll have to take a nap.
Yeah. So he's definitely not like 100%, but he's, ready to party. So it's up to you.
No, I know. I felt good about this. Okay, well, he's a fire person, so I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost. That seems like the opposite of fire.
Okay.
So it's a frigid beam of blue light streaks toward a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against a target. On a hit, it takes 1d8 cold damage, and its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn. The spell's damage increases by level, which I don't have.
Cool.
How do I do a
So
ranged
you'll
spell
be
attack?
rolling the spell attack at advantage.
Okay.
That's crossfire.
So which one is my range attack dice?
So you're gonna roll a d20.
For this one, if you want.
And
So roll 2 times, and then the biggest one?
Mhm.
Okay. So I roll a 13 and a 3.
so 13, but you also have like a
spell
spell
modifier.
attack bonus, just like everyone else does.
Well, I'll save you the time. 13 hits,
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Which would have been
And then I rolled a d8 to see how much damage
which
it
would have
is.
been augmented by 6
because
usually.
it would have been plus your proficiency plus your.
You did so much favor.
Thanks so much. Okay. So then I roll a d8, and that tells us how much damage it took.
Mhm.
3.
3. And its speed is reduced by 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Do I get like a little something for it being a fire thing? And it's like cold is
So-
worse
Should
for
you
it?
damage?
It more than you typically would
Rolling
have.
at advantage or something?
Yeah.
So you
Because 3 is like really
shoot a
shitty.
bolt. You shoot a bolt of ice right at it. It lifts up its sword to try to block it, but it stumbles back. Some of the light on its sword like dims, so it's like much more of like this kind of like smoldering thing, and it seems a little bit more rocked on its heels now. Now it is Feather Widget the Fourth. But okay, and then that's when they yeah.
There's no damage. It's a bonus action.
Alright.
And you gain one benefits of damage. How much? I think. Oh, is it right? Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. So when it says that I
So yeah.
nothing changes.
Oh, it's basically if you don't take damage in the round, I think you.
As far as like
You don't have to
the
take
weapon
damage.
attack, it doesn't change.
It changes your damage. Thank you, Jake.
No, I'll still do it.
Okay.
So I let the rage flow through me. I'm like,
I will do that.
God.
I think.
You're mad.
Wait.
Yes.
Doesn't do it.
16 will hit. I'm gonna do something real quick here.
Three plus 2, 15.
Nice.
15 damage.
Can I decapitate her? Please.
So how do you want to do this?
I want to grab its sword out of its hand and just like shove it up its butthole.
Oh, yes!
Wow.
I'm in a rage, okay?
Yeah.
It's true.
Bold choice.
I have let go of fidget spinner's leg at this point.
Yeah.
I'm just like letting her do her
The
thing.
whole time.
Yeah.
So you sprint up to this monster, grab the sword out of its hand,
Like veins are bulging out of my
and
head.
using its own weapon against him, you shove it right into his butthole. And he grabs your hand, and he grabs your shoulders, and you feel this like excruciating sense of heat. You're gonna take 1d4 damage. So you're gonna get 3 damage. And no. It's, and then he's gonna like start glowing brighter and brighter, and then he just disappears.
Yay! Are you going easy on us?
No.
15's a pretty big hit for level 1.
Yeah.
Can I do an Arcana check?
15, and that was
See
divided by
if
2.
he's actually gone, or if whether he's just like dissipated.
You just with your base arcana knowledge know that he's gone.
Okay.
What's the minion behind?
Yeah, what about the
Oh,
little,
I
what about the
forgot,
little
yeah.
fuck behind
Oh,
us?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was confused by all that,
Maybe
honestly.
that was the minion though, guys.
No! No, I already used my dragon
I
breath.
don't know. He's the DM. I don't know.
Okay, so you're in a
Plot
hallway.
twist.
There's a small, there's kind of this small archway. Now it's like quite close to you. This little archway. And you see a coffin kind of laid out. It looks like now that you're a little bit closer, you can see the top is open. There's a spectral, there's like a skeletal, like a skeleton figure there wearing armor, and has like a sword kind of at his side. Looks like kind of like a scimitar, and the little brass kind of chest is sitting right there at the bottom.
What's inside
Yeah, let's open the chest.
the chest?
If I Fox would open
I
it,
don't open
given
it.
that she kills
Because
the
if she's
guy.
trapped and dead.
I feel like it should probably be whoever can lockpick it.
What if I'm in a rage and I just like rip it open?
I mean-
I love it.
Can we like
Go for
get
it.
into this room first?
Yeah.
Like, carefully.
This is the biggest problem we have. Who will open the chest?
Can we like go carefully into this room as opposed to like charging down the hallway?
I
like,
charge down the hallway.
with the specter.
I mean, you're speaking too much like sense right now.
So
Given that
what's
we saw,
happening?
like some
Monster
like
Mage.
shady as fuck like movement
We
happening
can turn to a new
around.
monster mage.
What? So what's the plan?
There's like some shady shit going on, right? There's like some like flicker of
I'm
movement.
staying a
that we
little bit
saw.
behind because I'm not having.
Oh, I'm sticking with my personal defense assistant.
I have.
So
you
you both
still in your
are
rage?
okay.
Yeah, it's
So
lots of
We're
minutes.
letting
So you
we're
two-
letting the women and the they take care of this.
so you two are staying back in the hallway.
Oh yeah.
What are you all doing?
I would like to creep in carefully.
I'm
and,
gonna
like,
go
look
in while I'm
around.
still in a rage before it ends.
So
I'm
you
gonna wear
sprint
bikini
into the
on.
rage. You creep in carefully. So you guys all into the room, and you see at this figure's hand the scimitar like starts twitching, and then it rises out of the coffin.
Just the
And
scimitar, not the skeleton.
just a scimitar.
Did we have rested before?
So I kind of look up at Soga. I'm like, I mean, it's time to leave yet. I feel like we've kind of done our thing here. I feel like we've learned what we need to learn. There's gambling to be had back in capital.
So everybody roll
Yeah, you're
initiative.
absolutely right.
Why didn't we rest? What were we thinking?
Well, I mean, you guys
Well, I got
were
some pretty
resting.
bad
Is
initiative.
that for yours, everyone?
Wait, on me too?
Everybody.
Yeah. So wait, are you guys? in the
Or well,
room
you
also?
don't have to, but you probably should know it now.
I rolled a
19,
critical hit. That's a 1 for me.
21.
Ooh, 16 plus whatever, 12. Wait, plus
Three
what?
for you.
What do we add?
You're
So it's gonna be,
6,
like, the
you're
lower corner.
19.
Let's go up.
Oh,
Okay, so 21. Let's
whatever?
so the scimitar is like twitching in the air. What do you do? And it's in front of your friends.
I'm also jumping at it.
Okay, so you throw a javelin at it.
Javelins do you have?
Four.
But you also
That's
you can
two.
pick
Pick it back up.
I picked up the one on the goblin before crushing him,
Okay.
so I still have 4. I guess 3 now. Ah! Silence. Okay, javelin plus 6. Is 21
gonna hit.
hitting? Yes. So 1d6 plus
Wait, did we
Where's
ever
my
go through that
1d6?
test?
No, we came in and like the scimitar came out.
Can I have my
Oh, the
1d6?
test is in the room with the scimitar.
With this one.
Yeah, you guys all like rush towards whatever it was, and you woke
So
up.
it's 5.
Got it.
5.
I didn't rush. I only
Okay.
I said-
So you
Well, I guess
throw your
they-
javelin. It collides with the scimitar in the air. The scimitar spins but stays afloat, and you can see like kind of like a dent gash in its side. And it was, you said 6 damage. You said, or 5.
5.
And then
Is the scimitar attacking us or is it just floating there?
so we're gonna find out actually right about now. So unfortunately, Feather Widget is standing quite near to it. During the first one. Oh, gee.
It's still in that range though, right?
Yes, you are. You are.
So I
So
So when you take
the scimitar swoops through the air and swings for your arms.
So I have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
Perfect.
Is that gonna help me?
That will definitely help you.
Okay, cool.
But I don't know if a 9 will hit.
Oh, no.
So it takes a swing, misses. Now it is on whoever rolled the 20. Oh, maybe I might have skipped you actually. Sorry, but to not much effect, anyways.
So that means she's within 5 feet.
Yes.
So I will take a short bow shot and sneak attack. Does a 19 hit?
It does indeed.
So. So. 8 damage.
How do you want to do this?
What I would like to happen is obviously the scimitar is going to have one of those little handguard things on it, and so what I would
Sort of
like
right
to
up its
do-
hand card.
I want the bow to kind of like go right into that and hit the like hand of whoever's holding it, but then like the fletching of the bow kind of catch the like scimitar he's got and kind of like swing it towards the wall.
Sounds good. So you take aim, take your big shot. The arrow whizzes through the air, catches the handguard. You hear one last kind of echoing howl just ripple across the cavern, and then it just pins the scimitar to the wall and just hangs there inert.
Oh, very good.
Not ready for the chest.
There's
Wow.
three brass locks on it.
Three brass locks.
So there's 3 kind of little bolts on it.
Let's do my great accent.
All right, roll me strength.
And you're gonna break whatever's inside of it.
Am I still in my reach?
Yes, you are. So you should get advantage. Yes.
9 and a 9. Oh, look at that. That seems good. But that's plus, it's a,
500.
saving throws is plus 5, so that's a 14.
It's not a saving throw.
Oh, it's not, oh, sorry, then it's a, 12.
Okay. So you, with a roar, you burst open the chest.
Oh, really? It worked?
What did you say you had?
12.
That's fine. It's
Okay.
cool. So with a roar, you burst open the chest. The locks kind of tumble apart, and you all open it up, and you see one, kind of really ornate, like golden etched portrait. And it looks like of it kind of vaguely resembles the scepter, the specter whose sword you just shoved up his own ass. But it seems like very valuable. So that is worth about 100 gold upon appraisal. And then you find 3 silver, or 3 like rings of like silver and electrum and stuff like that, and those are each worth 25 gold. And then you find 1 potion of fire resistance.
How do we split that then?
That's really up to you guys, isn't it?
5 things? Okay.
So
Wait.
it's fine.
What?
It's just this like resetting.
2 gold something, and then 3. No, 1 gold.
One gold portrait, 3 rings,
3 rings
and 1
and
potion.
1 potion.
So you can
I'll
either
take a
just-
ring. I'll take one of the rings, that's fine.
I'm
How many
greedy as hell,
rings?
I'm going for the portrait.
How many
Okay.
rings?
I'll take a ring.
3, and then 1 fire resistance.
I can take a ring
Myself.
then.
Oh, this worked out super
Ring,
good.
ring, portrait, potion.
Okay.
Okay, so add those to your inventory.
Really?
So you got fire
Oh
resistance.
no, you're the wise one, we're the greedy ones.
So what that fire resistance potion will do, and you can write it on your either little phone or whatever. I can just give you a piece of paper with the thing on it. And so each of you add 25 or 100 gold to your inventory. We can just assume that you sold it.
Okay.
And then you will have.
Is there a gold option on this?
I was just looking for the same thing.
I'm just looking for
There's a currency section.
Where?
If you click on equipment, and then there's a currency like option
So are we
thing.
just assuming that we're going to sell them and adding gold?
Oh, that's probably
Yeah.
it then.
Okay,
That's
so
it.
currency, perfect.
Wait, say that again. Under currency, equipment, and then
There's
currency.
a currency thing up at the top.
Oh,
And you
great.
said the rings were worth 25?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Possessions. So my potion, would that go under possessions, or?
Yep. So there's your potion.
Oh. Oh.
And unbeknownst to them. Yeah. Okay.
Then back.
The pencil. Yes, you may. Okay, so you kind of feel the sense of quiet coming over this kind of cavern. You notice that there's actually another path kind of leading up on, and it seems to be going out. And you can either go back the way you came, go back out, get some rest. So you go out the new find. You find yourself in the graveyard, and it seems to be quiet. There seems to be kind of like a less restlessness, and you all go back to town, get a nice room at the inn, go to sleep for the night, have a long rest.
Oh. So, if the rings are magic, how do you want to do that?
So they're just metal.
They're
Right
just
now.
worth their.
They're just
Oh,
worth
okay.
gold. They're just
So
worth
it's
that
like
gold
gold.
value. You can keep them and then imbue them with stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta pay for it though.
Yeah.
And more than 25 gold, yes, I know.
So yes,
Great.
you guys are resting.
Yep.
That's the first session.
We did it.
How do you guys feel after your adventure?
We lived through game 1, which is always the hardest part.
We made it all the way through. We really
We gained
jumped
a
the
level?
gun, right?
Yeah. What's that?
Like,
We gained
this
a
is like-
level.
Yes, you all are level 2 now.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
cool. Okay, so next
So,
time we'll level up.
So
Next
we
time,
decided
level up.
There's this like weird, definitely some weird monster in the quarry, so we're gonna go straight for it.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
That was the
That was
plan.
pretty much what we
That's
did, yeah.
generally how these things work. Is there's something weird. We could avoid all the danger and let somebody else handle it, or we could run straight for
Rolls a
it.
d20, gets a
We're so
6.
curious. Well, now I wonder, now we're like, we did that shit, how will the town react?
Shit.
I'm gonna be a folk hero again, basically.
Again.
So you're. So history doesn't mean anything because you're a folk hero, fighting greater things than previously.
Sorry. It's my destiny.
Interesting.
Well, that was fun.
All right. Well, we can figure out either later at the office, what is a more. I know Friday nights are probably not.
Do the next session.
Yeah, Friday nights are probably not the ideal time.
So.
But we've done Saturday day,
How about
weeknights.
Tuesdays at 5 in the morning?
So yeah, sounds good.
I'll be there.
It's
easy.
5 in the morning. Oh, I'm sleeping.
Later, all those brave souls who hung out with us on Twitch, have a good one.
Bye. Thank
Did
you.
anyone actually watch?
Yeah, there's